Hello, my heroes and villains. I couldn't find the scene. It is me, the illustrious sausage grand tomato slime extraordinaire. And we are back in Unicorn Overlord. So a few things. One, this may be a short, I'm not sure yet, I have energy, but we'll see how it goes. This may be a shorter stream, than usual. I know I said that about a previous Unicorn Overlord, but because we last night into technically this morning, less than 12 hours ago, we concluded our 2-year anniversary subathon, so I may end up very tired. Also, at the less than 5 minutes after I shut off stream, this morning, my chair broke underneath me. So, I'm currently sitting on a, regular wooden chair rather than my wheelie, office gamer chair. So it is entirely possible you will hear, floor chairs scraping. Ignore it. It might be there for a while until I can get a new chair of some kind. But yes, we are back in Unicorn Overlord, and what we are going to be doing, at least for a little bit today, is I spent 100,000 gold getting not all, but a bunch of rapport conversations. Let's actually see how it looks on the map. Yeah, a few. Just a few rapport conversations. So we're gonna be going through these. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of conversation. So this might be a fair bit of stream today. Let's check out Elaine and Lex. Got some bread for you, Elaine. Fresh out of the oven. Thank you for the resubs, Izu. How is Izu? Is Izu do goo? Do you mean to say you're the one who made it? Sure do. I'm also, because of this chair, higher up than I usually am, which means I'm a little further from my mic. I don't think it will make a substantial difference. But it might? Eh. Then forgive me, Lex, but I can't eat this. Why the hell not? Do you remember the last time you baked us bread? It's closer to biting into a rock than any sort of actual food. Oh, come on, that was ages ago. Here, I'll tear off half for you. It does appear to be quite soft inside. I have to say, this is incredible. See, I'm thinking I might even start a bakery once we're done with all the war stuff. Something's wrong with this bread you made, Lex. It's hard as stone. That's because you're not eating it right. It's a northern specialty meant to go with a nice hot bowl of soup. Really? Well, then maybe you should remember to tell people next time. I'm lucky I still have all my teeth after that. Does such a dish truly exist? Of course it doesn't, but only one of the 6 loaves I made actually turned out good. Not sure why, though. I was using the same dough and everything. Perhaps you should hold off on the bakery for now, Lex. Haha! The they cannot cook trope has been turned on its head onto the man! Where is their next one? I do want to try to, do them in a row if I can. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't have to do it like that. What is this wonderful smell? Oh, perfect timing, Elaine. Is that a pie you have there? Yep. I was thinking we could all eat it together. You know, actually relax instead of keeping ourselves so wound up all the time. And don't worry, the recipe's not mine. We got Chloe to thank for that one. Though I couldn't help but remember the way my mom always used to make it too. It's a pleasant memory indeed. Not a week would go by that she didn't indulge our sweet tooth with some manner of homemade confectionery. All she sought in exchange was that we would forage for berries in the nearby woods, a task we often carried out without even needing to be asked, all in hopes of another delicious bite. I didn't think it made much of an impression on you, but there really was nothing better than some fresh-baked pie after a hard day of training. Anyway, here, let me know if I did it justice, yeah? I suppose I wouldn't mind a taste. Lex, this is wonderful. The subtle dusting of sugar perfectly complements the tartness of the berries, while the flaky crust ties together the entire ensemble. It's just as I remember it. That's what I was hoping you'd say. Ew, I was getting kind of nervous for a second there. But if you say it's good, then I'm sure everyone else will like it too. We should be sure to offer a slice to Joseph and Chloe as well. I'm certain they'll cherish the experience just as much as I have. The thought of Palavia, and of our time spent with your mother. Huh? What's wrong, Elaine? My head feels strange, somehow. Uh-oh. Chloe told me to add some wine to the filling for a bit of extra flavor. But maybe I shouldn't have poured the whole bottle in. Lex! Alright, where's your last one? Oops, no. Here's the place. Where have you brought me, Lex? Probably to, like, Mom's grave or something. You remember Kate? Oh, dog we used to play with when we were kids? This is her grave. As if I could ever forget her. She was a sweet girl who loved us just as much as we did her, and possibly far more so. The three of us used to have so much fun running across the island together. Yes, then... yet then, as quickly as she came into our lives, she was gone. You never told me what happened that day, only that you had buried her and nothing more. Could you tell me now, Lex? As long as you're sure that's what you want. You and Joseph were off trading somewhere, so it was just me and her taking a walk in town. That's when we got jumped by a bandit. What? Next thing I knew, Kate was biting up the guy's leg, trying to give me a chance to get away. There's only so much a dog can do against a monster with a knife. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, Elaine. I knew it was coming, but I just... too much of a damn coward to do anything about it. It was around then that you began to focus more on your training, wasn't it? That's thanks to Cape, yeah. She's the one who showed me what real bravery looked like. And for you, if it comes down to it, I'm ready to do the same thing she did. Do you truly think that's what she would have wanted? For her own death to inspire another? Well, I'll not stand for it. Never again shall I stand and watch while a dear friend casts their life away. Almost forgot. I brought some of Cape's favorite snacks to lay on her grave. Arf, arf. Thanks for everything, old girl. Well, that wasn't about baking. That was sad. I guess I did Chloe's first one. I don't really remember it. Oh, yeah, right. He was like, I want you to speak to me normal. You're my friend. Isn't it a little early to be out training, Chloe? Your Majesty, I didn't think anyone else was up at this hour. This spear is the one thing I have any talent with, so I want to keep my skill as sharp as possible. Apparently you're a really good cook, so I don't know why you're saying that. You probably don't know this, but I actually have 2 sisters back home. I'm the only one of us who was ever interested in becoming a soldier. My dad hardly ever knew what to do with me. But that's why he sent me off to train under Sir Joseph. I had heard from Joseph that your father was a local Cornian lord, yes. Though I confess, I never knew that was the reason you came to Palavia. Why'd you never mention it to me? Because he surrendered to Zenoira not long after. I know now that he only did so to protect our family, but at the time I just didn't know how to tell you. I'm sorry for not bringing it up sooner. Please, we all have things we seek to defend, and your father was no different. As for our territory, it's a little province near Grand Corny. Once the war is over, I plan to go back to find my sisters and do what I can to help them start anew. It seems you care quite deeply for them. I do. Still, I suppose I should figure out how to be a little more refined before I see them again. I'm not sure there's any need for that. You're plenty ladylike as it is, Chloe. I appreciate you saying so, even if you don't really mean it. In all truth, though, it is I who yet struggles to grasp the affairs of nobility. Well, then you'll just have to learn. If you really want to be king, you need to know how to engage with that part of society. Yeah. I guess in that case, let's keep practicing. Same as before. There you go, forgetting your formality again. Seems you have a lot of ground to make up before you're ready for that crown. You are different. You are friend. Okay, so I guess I'm not sure where their next one is. Are they one of the ones up here? Or, yeah, okay, they're up there. Alright, hot chick. Let's see what you have to say. A fine evening, Your Highness. It is indeed. A kind of peaceful atmosphere which calls to mind memories of my childhood. Do you remember the day you lifted me upon your shoulders to let me see above the castle balcony? I'd not soon forget it. I can almost picture it now, gazing out at the endless lights which lay tranquil in the city below. As can I. Of course, I was still but a young man at the time. I took quite a scolding from Sir Joseph for exposing you to such danger. Yet dangerous as it was, I can think of few moments more filled with joy. I often prayed that I would one day stand as tall as you, that I would bear the strength to support another just as you did for me. It is a prayer I continue to offer the heavens even now. I've done nothing to deserve such kindness, such kind words, Your Highness. Yet I feel the same. Those moments we spent together are truly an invaluable memory. I am certain Queen Elenia would be pleased to see the fine man you've become in time since. I hope you're right. It is actually interesting looking at the map, like, we've encircled them, but they don't care. It's like, this area is all that they have on this continent. Again, I'm, like, interested to see what the actual, like, end goal of things are. Because I feel like it can't just be haha conquest. Because if it was haha conquest, they would have fought back more. Or, like, tried to recapture stuff. I must say, I never expected to look upon Prince Lars from within Drakenhold's borders. From what I understand, the fort is considered to be nigh impregnable. Tell me, did you ever mount an attack on its ramparts while my mother ruled as queen? Hers was not a reign marked by invasion or offenses, Your Highness. Yet as this stronghold stands betwixt Cornia and the Drakenhold proper, the territory surrounding it has long been disputed. Such was the case 15 years ago as well, the day that Hodel sought to storm it. Hodel? Hodel. Stand down, Hodrick! Drakenhold means to provoke us with all these damned raids out of Prince Lars, and provoke us they have! but I, for one, don't intend to let them get away with it. Then you shall be playing into their hand. I hope you wouldn't think to cast your men's lives aside so callously. Her Majesty should indeed to have known I would come, but she should have sent more than a simple knight to stop me. There's nothing you can do to change my mind. Listen carefully, Hodel. The only nation which stands to gain from this conflict is Drakenhold, not our own. And it is more than simply Queen Elenia who believes such an assertion to be true. General Valmore himself labors to make peace with our neighbors as we speak. What? Unlikely as it seems. I've not a choice but to verify the truth of that claim myself. In the end, I was able to put a stop to Hodel's mindless scheme. Hope you've come to understand, Your Highness. Our relationship with Drakenhold has long proven a perilous one, no matter the present circumstances. It is clear to me that you think much the same way your mother once did. And for my part, I've not the slightest doubt you will see Cornea's bond with her neighbor strengthened beyond belief. It helps that we have a common enemy and supported each other against the common enemy, because now it's like, sure, we have the past conflict as a thing, but we have present reality, which is it was the two countries united that saw both of them really freed. Specifically, though, saw Drakenhold freed. And that's going to carry a lot more weight, probably, than Old Thing. Thanks for saying so, Hodrick. Especially since, Gilbert is our friend at this point. Through the course of this war, our two nations have fought as one. Desperate people banding together in the face of a common evil. I only pray we may do the same upon its conclusion, and all of Fevrith might enjoy a shared peace. My problem with it being... excuse me. Was it being on the map rather than in a list like in Fire Emblem is it takes a while to be able to actually go to them. Oh, I've already done this one. Oh yeah, okay, this one's early. It just makes it slower than I would want. Ha! I have a horse too now. So now.
Thanks for letting me ride with you, sir. When I grow up, I'll be a knight just like you.
It's a fine thing to aspire to indeed. Now then, I must be off.
I'll wait until my friends hear about this.
Hello there, Your Highness. It was kind of you to do, Clive. Though you and Adele are both of noble lineage, you never let such matters into your relationship with the common man. As is our duty of the Knights of Ashen Blue, status and station are nigh meaningless here in our province. To join our order, all one needs is the talent to hold the blade and the ambition to see the journey through. One such as that boy from earlier? But of course, so long as he truly wishes to become a knight. Think of Bernice and her lack of horse. Being born to commoner parents, she couldn't afford a steed of her own. And while she claims it's due to her dislike of the beast, she simply never had the opportunity to learn. Yet while she stood with our order, she was every ounce our equal. Point well made. In truth, I always believed the knight had to come from noble birth. Cornea is a nation of great history, Your Highness. Of great noble families who've endured for centuries, while those beneath them are resigned to subsist off their land. Most knights, on the other hand, belong to the lower nobility, class full subservient to those more illustrious houses. And while you might expect such vassalage to be a positive thing, it's often rife with abuse and exploitation. But the province of the Ashen Blue exists to upend such a system, as has been its purpose ever since King Gerard granted our order the land we stand on. My grandfather, the sacred blue of Cornea. I only knew him from portraits I've seen on the castle walls myself. And what fine an image they must have painted. He truly was a master of the sword, as his name suggests. Though from what I understand, he often questioned the morality of royal rule. Why did he deserve to lead the nation, simply because of the lineage into which he was born? It was that doubt which led him to frequently roam the land, enlisting to his service any able subject he came across, no matter their birth. 'Tis a spirit which the Ashen Blue carries forth to this day, our rejection of minutiae like title or status. We all knights under the same banner, equals in every way imaginable. Though as you might expect, such bold proclamations have never garnered the support of the upper nobility. In fact, they've ever despised our order for tarnishing the legacy of their storied houses, while we swore allegiance to only one sovereign, the great Gerard, who bestowed this province upon us. And thus our territory has served as a deterrent to the nobility's influence, and the cornerstone of a lasting peace in the region. It is some story indeed, Clive. I understand now why you decided to join my royal guard. It was out of pride for your homeland, and the will to see its ideals carried through to the next generation of knights. Sorry, taking a sippy. I only hope I didn't bore you, so tell your highness. You did no such thing. It's clear to me now that I know almost nothing of my own kingdom. Please, you mustn't speak so ill of yourself. In truth, Clive, I wish to hear more of this province, and of your life within its borders, should you be willing to share. I would be most honored. I can't do a lot of his threes, which is interesting. Although this is in the... I think it's in the elf land, so I'll probably get that soon. Oh, it tells me here, actually, if I'll be able to. So like, I can do all of Travis's. I can't do all of Sharon's. The reason I didn't kick up Yana is because she's in his party. So she'll get the stuff soon enough. I kicked up a lot of people, though. Melly, my love. Damn it, I can't do Melly. Oh. Are you all right, your highness? I am. 'Tis merely a headache is all. Worry not, Joseph. I intend to be off to bed any minute now. I wish that were true, yet the maps and tactical reports in your hand appear to speak otherwise. What manner of leader would I be, should I only rely on the knowledge of others? A sensible one, considering the alternative. Now come, you clearly need your rest. But if I don't do this, who will? Listen to me, my prince. I say this not as your advisor, but as the father given care of you by Queen Elenia. I cannot bear to see you suffer like this, to watch the fits of pain cast across your face. Then I'll not put you through it any longer. I only ask that you help me to my tent in return. As you wish. Pray, come with me. Are you warm enough, your highness? I am. Feels as though I'm a child again under your attentive care as I was for so many years in Palavia. Yet you've grown much more in your time since. You stand taller now, kinder, a true leader beholden to none but your own command. Be assured in that growth, and let your worries be washed away by the gentle tide of sleep. Thank you, Joseph. Even in slumber I can still see echoes of the boy you once were. How foolish I was to refer to myself as his father. I mean, you basically are. I'm the blade of the royal family, and nothing more. He also didn't, like, chastise you for it, because he feels the same. I genuinely can't imagine he feels any different. Having trouble sleeping, Joseph? Ah, good evening, your highness. I was merely recalling the last time I set foot in these lands, on a voyage of duty at Queen Elenia's side. What reason did you and my mother have for visiting Elheim? If you wouldn't mind sharing the tale with me, that is. Must have been 20 years past by now. We received word that a pack of beastrels was seen crossing the border into southern Cornea. Evidently, they hailed from this very region. Yet at the time, passage to and from Bastorius to our north was altogether barred. So as you can surely imagine, few in Cornea had ever laid eyes on Bistro before that day. How did they arrive in Elheim, exactly? And for what purpose were they advancing into our territory? That was what we hoped to learn ourselves, and sent the lord of the region, Raymond, to capture the errant beasts. The foul sorcerer betrayed our nation. Shortly after, an envoy of soldiers crossed the border from Elheim and demanded we hand over any bestials we were able to capture, and of course to alert them to the presence of any further we discovered. Raymond acted rather severely upon hearing this. He claimed it not but pretext for the elven nation to invade our own. I can hardly think of a single reason why they would want to do such a thing. From what I understand, the bounty of Elheim are as rich as those of Cornea, if not more so. And they've little economic hardship due to their lengthened lifespans and slower population growth. Right you are, your highness. Queen Elenia argued these very points herself. But there can be no discounting the inordinate fear which people have for the unknown. This particular region of Elheim is home to a great many half-elves, while the pure-blooded tend to be few and far between. In other words, it's a place of refuge for the undesirable parts of elven society. Yet rather than sympathize with the plight of the downtrodden, Cornea was rampant with baseless rumors and slander. Chief among them a claim that the elves had employed a wicked magic to transform humans into bestial warriors. Warriors who they kept hidden in this territory with the intent of launching an eventual attack. Considering the danger in such spiteful sentiments, Queen Elenia requested an audience with the then Tyrannos of Elheim. Thus, it was decided they would meet here, in a province known for its relative independence, and that I was to accompany Her Majesty in a vital role as her personal guard. Were you able to reach a resolution? In the end, yes. Both nations agreed only to patrol their respective sides of the border in search of bestials. Those bestials would be delivered safely back to Bastorius, as stated in terms negotiated with their king. It was upon the fulfillment of that agreement that this cautionary tale met its conclusion. I hadn't realized these lands had such history. Her Majesty's political sense was truly a joy to witness, while all who doubted her could only look on in stunned silence. Of every faith such skill lives on with you as well. I pray that you're right. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing the story with me. This is why I like conversations like this, and why I'm kind of bummed that not all units have 3. You learn so much about the world through just characters talking to each other. I'm surprised to find you buried in a nice book, Travis. Oh yeah? Reading's actually one of my favorite hobbies, I'll have you know, though it's a little harder to keep up with nowadays. We used to have a huge library back home filled floor to ceiling with any book you could ever want. That's all gone now, thanks to Zenoira. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. You've lost everything in this war too. And we're not the only ones. Just about the whole continent's been through the same ordeal. That's why at some point we take back what's ours, and get rid of Zenoira once and for all. Right you are. By the way, what is it you're reading there? Caught your eye, did it? It's only natural. Books have become quite a precious commodity given the dearth of scribes operating in our lands. I would love to read it myself once you're finished. Huh, I didn't realize you even knew how. It is entirely thanks to Joseph's mentorship, of course. I should at least remember well enough to manage. So it's very... no, I mean, like, it makes sense he was in hiding, that maybe he wouldn't have the best scholarism. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. But he is still a noble. He is not just noble, he's going to be king. He needs to know how to read. And Joseph clearly understood that. And here, I'll let you have it now. I practically know this one by heart anyway. Just let me know if there's anything you're having trouble understanding. My thanks, Travis. Anytime. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you think of it. And we'll never talk about that book again. My foot's asleep. Oh, fancy seeing you here, Elaine. You seem troubled, Travis. Is everything alright? I'm fine. Though, maybe you might know how to help. With what exactly? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, there's someone in our army you're having trouble getting along with. How would you go about fixing that? You should be on better terms with them, I'm not asking for me, actually, just a friend. In that case, I believe the simplest thing for your friend to do is tell the other party precisely how they feel. And what if he's not so good at speaking his mind? Hey, what are you two talking about over here? I see. Ugh, just what I need. But I might as well see what you think, too. Let's say, hypothetically speaking... I can't believe Travis can't get along with Lex. He asked me the quickest way to make a new friend is try being nice to them. That's a surprisingly sensible idea coming from you. What's that supposed to mean? I have to wonder, though, what does being nice even entail? If it were Lex, you'd like to do so by treating this person to a hearty meal. You got that right. No, Sol Febris, who doesn't like a warm bowl of food. Uh-huh. Well, I'd better go back to town. Thanks for the help. He was definitely asking for himself, yeah? Not a doubt in my mind. Only hope this venture of his proves successful in the end. It's funny, like, the way he talked about it, I actually did at first think he might have been talking about a friend and not himself. But then Lex showed up and I'm like, nope, okay, no, this is about you. As I said, we'll never mention that book again. Never mind, we're mentioning the book. I appreciate you lending me so many books, Travis. It's been quite a gratifying journey through the various genres of literature. Glad you're having fun with it. So what do you think of this one? It was a compelling read indeed, though I found myself stuck by a particular passage within. The past is unchangeable, while the future is unknown. So if you wish to achieve true happiness, you must seek it out in the present moment. I consider that to be a rather self-evident idea myself, but you have to realize it's an elf who's saying it. It's how long most of them live. You'd normally think they'd be talking about the future instead. So regardless of lifespan, it's vital to exist in the here and now. I may not know how this war shall end, but I plan to cherish every second I spend with my friends along the way. Our triumphs and our troubles both. Can't disagree with you there. I know it won't last forever either. Things will change once you take the throne. You're wrong, Travis. King or no, I am your friend first, and the crown shall never keep me from speaking with you like this. Also, like, you're almost certainly going to be my royal spy master, so, you know, you're going to be next to me forever, and I really would like you to speak candidly to me. Huh. Well, I hope you're right. I like that one. I don't know why, that's vaguely... Like, obviously I'm going to choose a girl, because girl hot. But that is vaguely in contender for, like, the marriage choice.
Mission.
Despite their circumstances, the children of the orphanage seem to be living life as bravely as they can. Yet at times, I've noticed a profound sadness behind their eyes.
That's simply the reality of losing your parents at such a young age. No matter how hard you try to heal the wound on your heart, a bitter scar will always remain. Though I have someone now who's able to soothe the pain, at least a bit.
You speak of Oclise.
I suppose I don't exactly hide it, He always used to remind me I'm not alone, and through all my toughest moments, she would be there to ease my worries. Well, it's true I've never known my birth parents. I only became the woman I am through the love I've felt throughout my life. That of the priest of Ronmore, who raised me as though I were his own daughter, as well as that of Lady Oclise, of course.
And now you've left that home behind in favor of our army. Tell me, Sharon, have you found the liberation in time? How have you found the liberation in time since?
To me, it has been a place of great warmth and love, just as my old orphanage was, in fact. It's evident in the way I've helped so many children deprived of their parents by the cruelty of this war. and in the way those children smile every time they see us approach.
Indeed it is. 'Tis for their sake that we must see this war brought to a swift conclusion. Never again must the youth of our kingdom suffer the unbearable pain that we have. The pain of losing those you hold most dear.
Just remember you can't end their suffering alone, Prince. I'll be at your call whenever you need of me.
The fact that, like, Oaklease and Sharon are constantly mentioning each other is like, yeah, I'm gay. But I am interested to see if they turn it into a familial thing. Like, that's not my read on it currently. They are definitely... I don't know if they're boinking, but they're definitely, like... They're definitely in love with each other. But yeah, I'm interested to see where they take it on their side. I want to do Oaklease's with me. I can't do Oaklease's with me. I do Sharon and Oaklease's. They only have 2? Really? Why?
Lady Oaklease, I hadn't realized you had joined the liberation as well. Yes, my dear Sharon, and now that I have, we can be together once more. Wait, is that a flower crown you're carrying?
It is. It is the same kind of blossoms as the one you gave me when we first met. Okay, yeah, no, they're gay.
You really were the most charming personality I've ever encountered.
They're gay.
I can still remember the delicate way you approached me, asking if I had lost my flower crown somewhere. Of course, every angel I'd seen in the scriptures was shown wearing one. So when I saw you alone in the middle of the forest, I assumed you'd simply misplaced yours. It's a rather shameful memory now, thinking of it.
The holy text weren't entirely wrong, though. We do wear such ornaments during certain ceremonies. Whoever penned the tomes must have been a remarkable human indeed. Though I must admit, Sharon, far prefer the crown you made to those of my homeland. Now observe this dream blossom, capable of transforming a sunny afternoon into the darkest of nights. Oh. Raise your head and gaze upon the flickering lights of the endless expanse.
They're beautiful, Oaklease, just as I remember them being all those years ago. It's almost like we've been thrown back in time to the days of our youth.
Indeed. Often did I wish to enjoy these sights together while we were apart.
And now we can, whenever we want.
I'ma boink them both. But also, I want them to kiss. I can't believe they only have 2. Right on the edge of where I've been. Right on the edge of my captured area, too. That's really funny.
Lady Oaklease, is there something I can assist you with?
Not tonight, thank you. I was merely preparing to turn in for the evening. I suggest you do the same. You must surely be tired from the day's work.
Yes, I suppose I am.
You seem rather troubled, Sharon. What is it that ails you?
Oh, Just that I learned long ago that you're more than capable of anything you set your mind to. It was often obvious that you were quite exhausted from your duties back at Rondmort. Yet you always found the energy to play with the children, without so much as a moment's hesitation.
A pleasant memory, yes. But how does that relate to your present dismay?
Well, the same is true of our battles, Oaklease. You're always doing whatever you can to protect me, while I never have the chance to support you in any way, neither in battle nor out of it.
You mean to say... Ugh, what a wretched fool I've been. So quick as I to act, I failed to even notice the compassion you bore for me.
Please, you mustn't blame yourself.
Are you certain you've not a need of a rest, Sharon?
I'm fine, I assure you.
In that case, perhaps I would rather like a nice wing massage. Yeah, rub those wings. You always have been good at this, Sharon. And your legs make as fine a pillow as ever.
I'm glad you think so. But more than anything, I'm happy to know I can actually be of use to you.
As am I for you.
To be completely honest, our friendship has felt a bit one-sided of late. You do so much for me, and I wanted nothing more than to make you feel cared for in the same way. Though it feels a bit embarrassing to be saying that out loud.
Sharon, please, you do plenty. And you may not always realize this, but the day I met you was the most blessed day of my life.
Oh, come now. I know you're just trying to cheer me up.
I am, perhaps, but it's the truth, too.
Well, I'm pleased to hear you say so, in the spirit of openness.
Oh, they boinked right there. Right then and there. That was that was a confession followed by a boinking. Absolutely. Alright, back to me. Done that. Alright, Bernice. Let's see what you're up to. I really like that, even though it was only 2. Sharon Ecclesiastes was really good. So, what do you think? In all honesty, it feels rather different than what I'm used to. No surprise there. Big swords like this is a whole nother beast. If you've never trained with one, you'll be all worn out after just a swing or 2. As I've noticed, yes. But hey, that's nothing a bit of practice can't solve. Perhaps so. I believe I'll be better off persisting with my current blade. Well, as long as you've got something you're happy with. Better to be a specialist than try and spread yourself too thin. By thinking exactly. Though at times I've wondered if I should learn a variety of weapons to adapt to any situation we might come across. It's no small thing being that versatile. But if you're a real expert, you don't need to adapt. You overcome. I don't know if I guess I don't disagree with that, but I also don't fully agree with it. By an expert, you happen to be speaking of yourself? Sorry. Clive has noted your talent for that very phenomenon, Bernice. The confidence with which you cut down mounted opponents, despite your inherent difficulties against them. I've witnessed it often as well. And I must admit, the skill you bear with that blade has seen you turn even the most dire situations in your favor. It's easy there, Elaine. I didn't say all that just to fish for compliments. Ugh, any more of that, I might start blushing. My point is, don't worry about how many weapons you can use. Focus on one, and see where it takes you. I'll do just that then. Thank you, Bernice. Anytime. Now come on, we've got training to get back to. Okie-dokie. Yet again, your training proves a true chest of metal, Bernice. But hey, at least you got the guts to keep coming back for more. Almost reminds me of myself when I was younger. Does it now? You probably won't believe it looking at me, but I got bullied all the time as a kid. Well, that does come as a surprise, yes. Well, blame all the bad harvests we used to have. I was barely skin and bones most of the time. But I wanted nothing more than to be able to stand up for myself, so I started training. And now look at me, tough enough to take down every last bully in Fevrith. That's why I decided to become a knight, actually, to help kids like me who didn't have it in them to fight back. It didn't last all that long, sadly. But whether it's in the biggest war or the tiniest brawl, it's about praising the weak day in and day out. And someday I'm gonna change that. I hope you do. You're fighting for the same reason, right? To get a better life for all our people? I am. But we really should be getting back to our training now, Bernice. Sorry, I'm not in the mood anymore. I think I need a little change of pace after all that depressing stuff. What do you have in mind? A rematch! I still got over losing to you the other day we met. Oh, that day we met, not the other day. Should have known you'd suggest another form of exercise. Hey, it's not like you're doing any better. You and I both know you'd rather be doing this than sewing or painting. I won't deny that. I suppose it would do as well to measure the results of our training. Just don't expect it to go easy as last time. I can read. I know words. What's this? Sure, Ridiel and Chloe. Still training, Ridiel? It's getting late, you know. I'm aware, but this is the only way I can prove I'm here for the right reason. The only way I can make up for selling you out to Zanara. That doesn't mean you need to work yourself to the bone doing it. I don't remember asking your opinion. Show me your hand, Ridiel. Blisters, just like I thought. I'm surprised you can even hold your bow through all that pain. Well, I don't have a choice. You know just as well as I do. You're wrong, Ridiel. Just think what would happen if all this strain caused you to falter when it mattered most. The others could get hurt. Elaine could get hurt. And the only thing that would prove is that he can't trust you to be there when he needs you.
But, listen, Ridiel. I'm sure your mom would be worried too if she saw you like this. So just take it slow, okay? You'll get there, even if it's not as fast as you might want. Once again, you lecture me exactly like she would. And now that you mention it, I guess I was getting a little impatient. And then here, put some of this balm on your hand and unstring the bow for the day. Oh, and I better not catch you training like this again. Thanks, Chloe. I won't let you down, I promise.
How many honors are we gonna have by the end of this is also a question I didn't think to ask, but am now thinking about.
Request an audience for a moment, Your Highness.
But of course. What is it, Miriam?
Well, I was merely wondering how you regard my work compared to that of the rest of our army.
You're pretty good for a while. You've kind of been letting me down lately, but hopefully we'll fix that. There's a surprising level of incertitude coming from you. You needn't assess yourself by the feats of others. Everyone has their own natural strengths, and you are no different. Is there a reason you seek such an answer?
Forgive my folly, Your Highness. I know well that our army's only aim in this war is to vanquish Zenora and restore this kingdom and its proper rulers. This is the same conclusion I seek myself as well. But I received a letter from my father this morning, stating the importance of distinguishing my deeds from those of my peers. I suppose he's purely fixated on what plotted our house shall receive upon the end of this war.
Recognition from the crown would prove a boon to any noble family, yes.
It's a strange contradiction, is it not? Under normal circumstances, a knight is meant to protect their people. In times of strife, we are judged almost wholly on how many enemies we're able to slaughter. It is a thought I very much despise, in sooth. But this is also a necessary one, should we ever wish to bring peace to these afflicted lands.
You needn't dwell on such upsetting notions, Miriam. What matters now is that the work you do is of great benefit, both to the liberation and to myself. And to my eye, you've already achieved the distinction your father wishes for.
Thank you for the generous words, Your Highness.
Oh, time for another drink. It's hot, and I don't know why. I don't like it. I do not like to be sweaty. And by sweaty, I mean melty. Because slimes do not sweat, they melt. Have you received some manner of good news, Miriam?
Your Highness, nothing in particular, no. Why do you ask?
Haven't you noticed? It seems you've been smiling more often lately.
Well, perhaps my disposition has changed to a degree. Your kind words when we last spoke, and my further interactions with the rest of our army helped me realize something. While I haven't consciously meant to do so, I often hid who I truly am.
Have you now?
My entire life I've lacked confidence in my ability, a trait I most likely inherited from my mother. I've always feared what those around me may think, none more so than my father, of course. Yet rather than confront those fears, I chose to flee from them, to feign the austerity I felt was necessary. But I no longer want to run, Your Highness. I wish to be true to the emotions I feel, no matter when or how I may feel them. And I wish to do so because of you.
Hence the smile from earlier. You were simply expressing the joy you found in such life.
Yes, perhaps you're right. And though I may still struggle at times to open up completely, Your Highness, I'm certain it will only grow easier in the days and months to come.
Then I look forward to seeing what other new expressions await me when it does.
You do? But, to be frank with you, I hadn't thought my mood was quite so easy to read.
It's not, actually. I believe I only noticed in the first place because of how often I find my gaze fixed upon you. Wow! This one is really pushing the ship.
Your Highness,
Is there a problem, Miriam?
Not at all. Pray think nothing of it. I thought I was only into girls. Do you not grasp how embarrassing this is? To be told my appearance is the object of your attention?
Forgive me, I didn't intend to startle you.
It's alright. On the contrary, I'm delighted to know you care so deeply for me. And I fully plan to carry that joy for all to see.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna move my fan so it's hitting me a little bit more. Hopefully this doesn't catch too much on the mic. I don't think it will, but you never know. Miriam's cute. I like her. Who's next? Fran! Where in the fuck? Is that it? It can't be that over there. It has to be this way. This? So it is. No, I guess because that's on the other side of the river that we can't get. Okay, yeah, this is the closest place. Is everything in your family? Is everyone in your family able to ride griffins, Fran?
Just me, actually. Though my house has historically been known for such feats. It's tradition that any girls born in the family feast during the Knights of the Rose. But ultimately, the Order will only take the best griffin riders we have to offer. So every couple of years, the house holds a trial to determine who that is.
Test of skill to prove yourself ready. It's an intriguing method indeed.
It is. My cousin and I all took ours together a while back. But it turned out I was the only suitable candidate.
Because the others all failed to command their griffins?
Yes. One of my cousins ended up crashing into a tree, severely injuring herself in the process. Another let the griffin run loose through our manor, tearing apart room by room as it went. You could barely call it a proper trial at all.
No, I suppose not.
To be honest, I didn't even ride particularly well myself. I was only deemed the best in our house by virtue of not being as horrible as everyone else. But I knew that the shame it would bring our family if I failed to gain admission into the Knights of the Rose. So I trained tirelessly day after day, till I was able to prove my merit and join the Order in true.
Surely that dedication which sees through thriving now for the liberation as well.
I'm not sure thriving is the best word, but I appreciate you saying so, even if it's not entirely true.
Listen, he believes it, and that's what's important. Do not question your prince. No, I don't care about you. Oh. Over here? We can do Tatiana and Oakley's next. But I ask you a favor, Fran.
Anything, Your Highness. What can I help you with?
Well, if it's alright with you, I wish to ride your griffin.
You? But that would be far too dangerous.
Would it now? I can't say I expected such a deafening refusal.
I'm sorry, Your Highness, but you lack the training for such a request. And I worry my griffin here would just throw you off if you tried.
Yes. Yet the fact of the matter is I've dreamt of soaring through the sky ever since I was a child. I'd hoped that riding with you would allow me to do so. And it appears I was gravely mistaken.
Hold on a minute. You were suggesting we go together? With, like, you holding on to my back? And rubbing yourself against me? Oh!
But of course. I can hardly presume myself capable of taming a beast of war alone.
In that case, I think it should be okay.
Do you truly mean that?
I do. But you have to promise you'll hold tight to my waist. I wouldn't want you to fall to your death on account of me, after all.
Then I'll do just as you say. And thank you, Fran.
What do you think, Your Highness?
It was truly unlike anything I could have ever imagined. In the best way possible, that is. I didn't expect the wind rushing across my face to feel quite so different to how it does on the ground.
I'm just glad you actually enjoyed it.
How could I not? In any event, I should be going now. You tell your griffin I say thank you as well, for granting an unknown passenger such a wonderful voyage.
Phew. I think I would have fainted if he held me any tighter.
There it is. I was like, this doesn't feel very, very shippy. Usually they throw in, oh, yep, there it is. Berengaria got the one blush line. Or not Berengaria, Bernice.
Mind spraying me a couple of feathers?
Who's there? Show yourself or face my divine fury.
Forgive me. I didn't realize a brazen angel like you could get frightened so easily.
It's you, the heretic responsible for nigh countless innocent deaths.
You haven't answered my question. Will you be giving me the feathers or not?
She wasn't responsible for them. She did everything she could to stop them. I've nothing to give a heartless demon like you.
I don't much appreciate your tone of voice. But you're correct. I've done terrible things in the name of a greater good. Save my people from a plague your church would do nothing to stop.
Yes, well, what's the point in arguing this now? What's done is done.
Truth I know all too well.
Tell me, what do you plan to do with the feathers of an angel?
According to my studies, they can serve to enhance the efficacy of a tonic they're added to. Though I thought to do just that for the cure I've created. Though I have to admit I'm rather skeptical.
How dare you! We angels are messengers of heaven, not some medicinal herb to be harvested as you please.
I know that, yet the plague still lingers in our lands. There's no telling if the current cure will stay effective in subsequent outbreaks. But if that's how you feel, then I'll leave you be. And I promise I won't make the same mistake again.
We'll see about that. By the way, I did think to help when your town was consumed. There was nothing a mere angel such as I could do.
You what?
And I can tell you truly want to save as many people as possible. So go on, you may have one feather. This evening only. You may touch it. Once. Make sure it doesn't hurt, will you?
Very well. Promise to make this as painless as I can.
Oh, that's the only conversation they get? Okay. Okay, can't go to there. I know we can't go there. Although, that's not far off. Alright, Nina. This is gonna be funny. She's a freak.
Wait, no! Ah!
Is everything alright, Nina? Are you in danger?
I'm okay, I think. My omelet assuredly isn't. A little piece of eggshell fell into the pan while I was cooking, and I grew so flustered I dropped the entire thing on the floor.
Which explained the cacophony I heard as I was rushing over. It was an artful mistake, I must say.
There was something artful about it. Though now that I think about it, perhaps the curse I put on you has come back to haunt me instead.
Ah, yes. The hope that I would be plagued by failed omelets for the rest of my life. Recall you uttering quite the insult as well.
I'm sorry for it. It's not how I wanted to. It's not how I want to live, or how I wish to treat my allies.
You know, Nina, fruit a piece of eggshell every now and then can provide ample nutritional benefit. Everything seems to have remained safely in the pan as well, perfectly unharmed despite its abrupt introduction to the floor. So you see, there's nothing to be upset about, not in the slightest.
I appreciate you saying so, Your Highness. You're right. I can still salvage this meal yet. That's precisely what I planned to do. Thank you for helping me pull myself back together.
It was nothing at all. Now, if you need of a hand, I know an idle young prince who may be willing to lend his aid.
You would truly do that for me?
But of course. After such a fine opening act, I wouldn't dare miss the conclusion for all the world.
You put it like that, I expect it might be nice to have a bit of company.
Then let's begin at once.
Yes, Your Highness. Though first, I'm sorry for putting that curse on you.
Pay it no mind, Nina. The only matter I have time for now is watching a master chef conduct her work.
Then prepare to be amazed, my loyal assistant.
Beep, 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 beep. One day I'll press the right buttons. Why do we need 15 menu buttons? Can't go there, okay. You're the real weirdo. The weirdest weirdo of them all.
I've come to understand you heard a voice in the heavens, Elaine.
It's Sanctuary back in Cornea, yes.
Interesting. But why were you able to receive its tidings, I wonder? Anatomical peculiarity of your royal bloodline, perhaps? Ah, if only I had the educational background to say for certain. Still, whatever the answer may be, I find myself utterly captivated.
You're staring at me rather intently, Selvi.
Ah, my apologies.
Seems there's truly no end to the depth of your curiosity. Is there any particular reason for that?
Well, if you wish to create the ideal future, you must first understand the failings of history. That's what my father always used to say to me. And though my ambitions aren't quite as lofty as his were, I find there to be few things in this world more compelling than the mysteries of our past.
It's a respectful saying indeed. My mother often spoke in a similar way, of the inherent value in studying the chronicles of centuries gone.
Please, Elaine, it's just another proverb, but you shouldn't read too much into it.
But you're the one that just told me it's like what you live by. What do you mean I shouldn't live by it? Or what do you mean I shouldn't pay it much mind? Alright, well, we'll be able to do 2 of Virginia's. A lot of Elaine's are story locked, which makes sense, but Aramis and Virginia. Aramis and Leia. There we go, Elaine and Virginia. Impudent Kratens! You'll pay for insulting him like that! What's happening here?
It's a princess, sir. You have to stop her.
What do you think you're doing, Virginia? Oh, just having a civilized discussion with my friends here. As for you, you don't want to know what'll happen if I catch you spreading such slander again. Aramis sure likes this place. It's almost like it's his home. Although, is this the Drakenholt Castle area? I'll check again when we're out of it. What was it they were saying exactly? They claimed you had murdered Queen Elenia. Who? How? Why? They what? All part of some baseless rumor that you and Galore have been working together since the days Zenora rose to power. What damned foolish could they be? You're the one who seeks to slay the monster, not enable his reign. Ah, I understand now. But I can't begrudge them. It's only natural to doubt a man who appears after 10 years claiming himself to be a long-deceased prince. Action alone shall prove those rumors false now. The bastards can't even imagine the pain you've been through. The pressure of carrying the hope of a nation entirely on your own shoulders. The despair of losing everything you held dear. It makes me sick just thinking about it. Yeah, like, I was like 10 when that happened. How was I conspiring with the man that then rose and killed my mom as I was whisked away? That's the stupidest rumor I've ever heard. Also, yeah, like Virginia said, I'm literally leading an army against him. Be that as it may, Virginia, I appreciate your anger on my behalf. Then don't worry, there's plenty more where that came from. Okay, yeah, this is the lead up to the castle town. Thought it might be easier to find Virginia, but I don't know if it was. Well, if you showed up on time, good kid. Please, Virginia, I'm a grown man, not a child. To prove it, take a look at this. A chessboard. Just like we used to play with in the garden at Grand Cornier. Though it was always a one-sided affair, in truth. Every time I won, you'd swear you'd finally beat me in our next game. Yet we were cast half a continent away from each other before I had the chance to make good on that promise. Wasn't particularly pleased about being forced to abandon our rivalry when I was so far ahead, either. Lucky for us, the time has come for you to avenge your past failures. If you can, I can and I will. I want to learn chess for real one day. When I feel like I have time for things. You really have gotten a lot better, Elaine. Suppose all this time commanding an army has given you a keener eye for tactical maneuvers. But why do you seem so upset about winning? Tell me something, Virginia. Do you not have anyone to play chess with when you were taking refuge in Drakenhold? I didn't. They treated me well, of course, as an exiled princess from their fallen neighbor. But even as a young girl, I knew the time for games was long over. You're the last person I faced off against back in Grand Cornier. But that makes it all the more fun to revisit it now. Why are you crying? Forgive me. It's only that your strategy remains the same as it was all those years ago. To the cruel reminder of what this war has stolen from you. The opportunity to enjoy life as every child should. You really are a strange one, Elaine. You don't show a hint of emotion over the things said about you, but here you are shedding tears for me. As if you're any different. You're always getting angry on my behalf, regardless of what around those may think of the matter. Maybe so. I blame it on a lack of self-restraint more than anything else. Don't think deeply about it. You know, Elaine, there are only two people who can understand the pain we've been through this past decade. Those people are us. Well, okay, I guess the only people that can understand what the two of you have been through are the two of you. But, like, Gilbert's been through pretty similar stuff. Aramis has been through pretty similar stuff. So really, I'm just relieved to know we can be there to feel those emotions for each other. Alright, we're locked out of her third one. Bank. Yeah. Gamble. So yeah, you ever need someone to go dirty in the hands for you, I'm your guy. I can never ask that of you, Gamble. After you promised me you'd be living an honest life now. I'll not have you abandon that pursuit in my name. You still believing in me, huh? Still trusting that I'm a new man, free all this thieving business? Were you not? Were you not, Celeste's loyalty would be questioned as well, forever speaking in your favor. And given the matter of your sister, I don't suspect you could do something so foolish. Got nothing to say to that. I am telling the truth, you know. But I come clean about something. Ever since I decided to join up with you, I've wondered if I ever really deserved this life. I don't know, maybe it's just my conscience getting the better of me. But I seriously do want to spend whatever time I got left helping people who need it. Even if it means sinking back into life of crime. Besides, if someone's gotta do it, I figure someone's better off being me instead of you. Don't give a damn about how dangerous it is neither. As far as I'm concerned, I should have been dead that day back in Galore. That's enough, Gamble. If you truly wish to atone for the sins of your past, you need merely carry their lessons into your future. Both for your own sake and for your sister's. You're a real piece of work, Elaine. But when you're right, you're right. I won't go bringing this up again. I pray you don't. Let's find out. I actually don't know if I... Oh well, report conversation available. Oh right, I got it, because he had one with Nino. Well, if it ain't the old rat I've been hearing so much about. Never thought I'd see you here of all places. For a while there, every lowlife in Cornea was talking about the noble girl who gave up everything to become a bandit. Me, I could have sworn they'd taken you hostage. How could you think such a thing? The rock rats would never harm anyone without proper reason. Guess it's true what they say then, that that captain of yours won't hurt a fly if he thinks it's got something worth living for. Still can't see you fitting in though. The other thieves ever give you any trouble? If anything, I gave myself trouble, but they were always quick to forgive my mistakes. Even after I'd turn a hole in the stolen sack of flour, leaving clouds of white powder scattered throughout town. That was you! Way I heard it, people thought the whole place was going up in smoke. It's not one of my fondest memories. We came out of the whole thing empty-handed, save the bits of flour stuck in our hair. They must truly have thought of me as little more than a liability. I don't know about that. Sounds to me like they really cared about you. I'm sure they could tell you. I'm sure they could tell you was trying your best as hard as you could. And that's not even mentioning how good you are with a hammer. Me, I'd take you in my gang any day of the week. You truly mean that? Well, I suppose I won't argue then. You know, you might look like a corpse, but you're actually quite a nice person. Let's talk again sometime, shall we? Really how she thanks people? Ah, but in spite of the tongue, girl's not that bad. Let's talk again, she said. Let's talk again soon, she said. And then they never spoke again. Oh boy, we got a lot more still. Yeah, we're actually doing map-wise. Oh boy. Oh boy. What's over here? I cannot travel this. What? Oh, I need the bridge for that. There's probably a elf mine somewhere, right? Are you ready to go now, Ridiel? I am. Sorry for making you come all the way to my house with me. So quickly everything's happened, I never really had the chance to say goodbye. And look, I grabbed a little something to remember my mom by. To the marvelous painting, Ridiel. That's her, back when she was first joining up with the Knights of Valheim. Apparently, she got a commission for next to nothing. You'd hardly tell from looking at it. Especially in the matter her sword gleams in the sunlight. It's really something, isn't it? I always used to love it as a kid. Spent hours upon hours staring at it just hanging there on the wall. Not that I ever dreamt of becoming a knight myself. Looking back on it now, I think it was all some kind of childish wonder. Admiration for a world I knew nothing about. But once I got older and started seeing for myself the kind of prejudice half-elves like me face, I realized just how impossible a reality this whole thing depicted. I'm sorry, Ridiel. After that, it was painful even looking at it, so I shoved it in a closet and tried to forget instead. Kept it in there even after my mom died. But every once in a while, I'd dig it up and wonder what she'd think if she knew how I felt. If nothing else, I'm certain she would be happy to see you staring at it again, as you did when you were a child. I can only imagine how proud it would make her, knowing you've inherited her bitter struggle against Sonoira. I'll win it too, in her memory. Why are you bringing a painting along with us in war? Where are you putting it? In your tent? That is going to be down constantly? Also... No, okay, this is the starting mine. I was like, also, did I already get the elf mine and I was too stupid? No. I mean, I am stupid, but not for that reason. I don't think I have the stone, but might as well check. Well, like, can Morton do it with different stone? No. Fetch. I actually hit the right button first try that time, and I was like, no, that was the wrong button. Cool. Great. Love it. I've been curious, Leia. How did you come to end in Gilbert's service? Through my duty to the royal court, of course. Even at a young age, I often attended to the late King Hugo. I never had enough stones. I never have enough stones. Until I can mine pretty much. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm not expecting to actually be able to do it until I can mine. It's the role of your family, then, to maintain the brilliance of Drakenhold's crown. No. If I may speak plain, I never knew my parents. When I've been told, I was left at the gates of Castle Soldraga as a newborn. Forgive me, I didn't mean to assume. As the story goes, King Hugo found me out there, crying and alone, took me in and raised me as one
raised me by one of the court's many wet nurses. He treated me almost like his own daughter at times, brushing my hair and doing whatever he could to ensure I felt comfortable. It's only through his kindness that I stand here now, and that of Gilbert, who has continued that habit in years since his father's death. I sincerely can't say if I even hail from Drakenhold to begin with. Yet I know one thing for certain: I owe my life to the royal family.
Her having blue hair and saying all this makes me think she might be Cornian royalty. Understandably so, yes. I need to actually look and see if anybody else has blue hair.
Think about it now, I find it hard to tell if it was simply what motivated King Hugo to take me in, or if he was purely struck by a passing fancy. But my stance on the matter will be forever unchanged.
I know how you feel, Leia. At least to an extent. Much of the reason I was impelled to survive was because I had to. I had to do so for the sake of my lineage. No matter how hard I wished it was love, and only love. Yet whatever the reason, the fact still remains that I was saved. And in light of that truth, I have nothing but the utmost gratitude.
You've wisdom beyond your years, my prince. I know that I shall ever hold the same gratitude deep in my heart.
We've got fancy colors of all kinds. I mean, I guess this is almost blue, but she's an elf. Yeah, the only blue-haired characters in the game are the Cornian royal family. Like, hers is a much darker blue, but that could mean that she was like, you know, like a illegitimate child that like had with like, I don't know, somebody with like black hair. And that's why it's darker. Well, now I'm interested to see the rest of her conversations. I really wasn't that interested before that. I hate coming to this area because I can't not get them all. I have to pick them up. Help. Help me, I have a compulsion. Ah! Everywhere I go, there's more! Leia!
Is everything alright, my prince?
It is now, yes. In truth, I've looked from afar, it looked from afar like you were standing here crying. But it seems the light of the moon is playing tricks on me.
I'm fine, yes. Though, at times, after everyone else has gone to sleep, I find myself succumbing to a sudden rush of loneliness. A sensation which can only be swept away by the gentle evening breeze.
I've felt the same myself ever since I was but a boy. Silence of night tends to invite all manner of merciless thoughts. Back on Palavia, I often solved it through walks by the shore, staring out the endless expanse of black ocean. It frightened Joseph to no end to wake up in the middle of the night and find me missing.
Something similar happened to me once. Having slipped out of bed to roam Soldraga's dark castle, came across King Hugo doing just the same. I feared the worst, of course, but rather than scold me, he simply ushered me back to my room and began to sing. That was the first lullaby I'd ever heard, a warmth I had never before experienced. In that moment, I couldn't help but wonder if that was what it felt like to have parents of my own.
It's a lovely memory indeed. I'm not certain I bear the aptitude for song that King Hugo did, but if you'd like, I would be glad to stay by your side until the tide of sleep eventually rolls in.
Would you not be getting rest yourself, my prince?
We're not, Leia. I'm wide awake, having just come from a war council. But I'd love to keep you company for a while, assuming you don't mind. Perhaps you could tell me more of King Hugo while I do.
I'd very much like that. And thank you for always treating me with such ample kindness. Now, when I was just a girl of only 7 or 8.
Damn. I wanted to hear the story. There's one down here. Have I not fixed these villages? Oh wait, no, I have. Okay. I might as well just deliver all here. I just haven't stationed a god. Because I don't have anyone to station. Back in Drakenhold, man.
The hell is your deal, Elaine?
I'm sorry?
I don't get it. You're still just a kid, but you're out here leading one of the biggest armies Fever's ever seen. And yeah, you've got help, I know. But it's a tough job. That was true even running the tiny little band I used to. So it's almost scary seeing how easy you make it look. Not to mention, I was fresh off working for Zenoir when you asked me to join you. Why weren't you afraid of me, damn it?
I was, and I still am, of a great many things. My lack of experience chief among them. But then I think back to the day that Cornea fell. The look on my mother's face as she bade me flee. In that moment, all I could see was the concern she bore for me, not even a hint of fear. And even though I knew she was only trying not to worry me, I've long since decided to carry on that spirit. No matter what terror I might feel, my army shall never know a trace of it.
Makes sense to me. By keeping yourself strung too taut, and you're likely to just snap in half. So yeah, I'll be here if you ever need to talk.
You have my thanks, Berengaria.
Also, you're very attractive.
Well, I guess we're doing Barry now. Oh, she would hate me calling her Barry. I'm gonna call her that forever.
Well, if it isn't everyone's favorite little workhorse.
Please, Berengaria, you needn't patronize me.
I'm not. Just thought you could use a bit of friendly teasing is all. If everyone keeps treating you like some little perfect commander, you'll always feel like you're stuck acting the part.
That would be rather stifling, yes.
But you and me, we barely know each other. It means we're free to just breathe, be ourselves, not giving a damn what anyone else thinks.
I suppose it would feel rather odd letting my guard down amidst my royal retainers.
Right. I wouldn't want to be caught dead talking to my men like this either.
You know, Berengaria, I believe that's the first time I've ever seen you laugh like that.
You got a problem with it?
Not at all. It's almost stunning in a way.
Make fun of me again, it'll be the last thing you do.
That's not my intent, I assure you. Just a little friendly teasing, as you put it. But I promise I meant every word.
Me stunning, huh? Can't say I've ever thought of myself like that. And I don't think anyone's ever called me it either. But it feels pretty good knowing you think so.
Hell yeah, we're getting in there, boys.
I don't get it. Why do you keep talking to me like this?
Well, perhaps because I enjoy your company, and the chance to let my guard down. But I'll be sure to keep my distance more often if it troubles you so.
And listen to me, Elaine. You know how you said before it's a good thing we barely know each other? Well, there's a downside to that too.
Meaning what, precisely?
There's no telling when one of us might turn on the other. But that's how it goes when you're practically strangers. It's not a damn thing keeping us together. It's one wrong move and the whole thing falls apart. Not that I'm planning to put a knife in your back anytime soon. But if Corny and Drakenhold never went to war again, you know which side I'd pick. Nothing personal.
Then you mean to say all of this was for naught? That you would betray my trust without the slightest hesitation? Or perhaps I've always been a simple pawn in your grand schemes?
If that's what you want to believe, so be it. Just know I really have enjoyed our little chats. Especially when you get all defensive about me deserting you.
Is it some sort of joke to you, Berengaria?
Sorry, I guess I'm just surprised to see you care so much. But maybe that means we're not the strangers I thought we were. Let's just hope our countries don't get in the way of that.
Yes, let's. That's an interesting conclusion. I'm interested to see what the final event is for marriage on that. I'm interested to see a lot of them and where they go and how long they are, honestly. God, we'll probably go through legitimately like all of them. At least everyone that I care to see. Like, I don't necessarily care that much about prims. Do you and Hilda tend to get along, Prim? For sisters, I can't imagine two more different people.
Well, thinking back on it now, I've always felt this impossible distance between us. She excelled at anything she laid her hands on, while I was a bit more clumsy and reserved. And once she met her wyvern, that distance line grew all the greater.
I can understand why.
I'd often watch from afar, whenever she went into the mountains to greet her newfound friend. All I wanted was to be close to her. Being the portly girl I was, I feared the wyverns were more likely to eat me than welcome my presence.
I didn't realize they feed on humans.
Oh, they don't. I was just young and afraid more than anything. Life went on as normal for a while. Hilda braving the mountains alone, with me following behind at a distance. Till one day a band of wyvern poachers found me and took me captive.
How'd you end up getting away?
Hilda and her friend came to rescue me, of course. And from that day forth, the three of us spent time together just about every day.
Meaning you finally had the bond of sisterhood you desired.
Exactly. Or at least I did. The plague struck our home not long after, and I left the region in search of anything that might lead to a cure. But that just makes me feel even happier that I got the chance to see her again. Thank you for that, Elaine.
Fick. Goddamn, are these all Aramis conversations? I must know, Aramis. You still plan to continue on as a mercenary even after the war? I'll not be returning to the royal family if that's what you ask. Has abandoning your lineage not proven difficult at times? It has, so I believe my actions have troubled Gilbert far more than they have myself. At first, I struggled greatly to conceal my identity. After all, I had been instructed in the arts of the royal blade from a very young age. Yet in order to conform to my surroundings, I cast those teachings aside and began to emulate the mercenaries around me. It was no small feat, mind you, given the inferior craftsmanship of their blades. But before long, I had found myself growing used to the metal's many defects. And as I did, I began to prove, in a way, that I don't need my bloodline to define who I am. It was all a mere rationalization in the end, a vain attempt to flee from the errors of my past. With every swing of my mercenary's blade, I would question why I even still roamed the earth. Why I should live while my failings caused the demise of so many others. Yet death was not the answer I sought. Not while I knew that Gilbert was still alive. And now he's finally reclaimed our lands from Zenora's clutches, owing entirely to you. It is not my acceptance he fights for, but yours, Aramis. Whether it be in his duty as your king, or simply as your loving brother. It would seem I've no choice but to live on, both for my nation and for Gilbert. Aramis and Leia, Aramis and Virginia. If I may, Aramis, what do you intend to do once this war reaches its conclusion? What more can a wanderer hope to do than continue to walk the wanderer's path? Even once the fighting is ended, there shall be towns in need of aid, innocent people who seek to begin their lives anew. Indeed there shall. Yet it's a rather interesting question. You speak as though you're certain we'll be victorious. Certain may not be the correct word, but I assure you I don't plan to let Zenora defeat us. All the same, what you say is true. Peace is but a single thing among many which Fervus needs. And more than anything, I wish to bring joy back to the hearts of my nation. Even should we claim victory in this conquest, much work shall remain to be done. I'd only meant to tease, you know, but the more we speak, the more confident I become in your claim to the throne. I may ask that you focus on the task at hand for now, rather than trouble yourself with what comes after. For if we never triumph to begin with, such worry should prove utterly meaningless in the end. And I'll not see you suffer as I had all these years. Agonizing over your failure, you mean? Precisely so. Had my father's aim come to fruition, the world as we know it would be quite different. As a young boy, I found myself gazing to the future, rather than coming to terms with the reality before me. I dreamt of ascending the throne, of one day reshaping Drakenhold into the nation my father wished it could be. Yet when Zenora struck, such dreams only served to cloud my vision, and the man known as Ludwig perished in the ensuing battle. In truth, Elaine, I scarcely even deserve to stand in your presence. For the aims my father pursued were none other than the conquest of your homeland. To seize a disgraced Cornea as our own, thus prevailing in the centuries-long feud between our kingdoms. Aramis, I assume you only asked what I plan to do out of some misguided concern for my well-being. Yet I demand you save such kindness for those who deserve it more than I. Listen to me, Aramis. What is it? Think of what you told me just now. How you wished that I not suffer the same mistakes as you. Such advice was not spoken from one royal family to another, but out of the compassion you bear for me as a friend. I care for you just as deeply as those I hold dearest, Aramis. And I must admit, I worry for you as well. This is the first guy that I'm like, oh boy, gay. Well then, not a soul in the world could remain callous in the face of such words. It appears you've outdone me again, Elaine. And thank you. I shall surely continue to rely on you from here forth. Pray, do not hesitate to do the same. I won't. We're almost through all of Elaine's many conquests. Kind of. Vaguely. Not really. Jeremy only has the one, it looked like. If you don't mind me saying, Jeremy, I saw you risk your life to defend that of an ally in our most recent battle. Got that, did you? Guy was missing a shield, so... However, I've also word of your concealing yourself behind another unit, ensuring they would be the ones attacked and not you. Was such duplicity intentional? Nah, boss. I'm a changed man, you know. A changed man wouldn't go pushing those kids up to the front line. Do you mean to imply they stepped forth of their own volition? And that you trust in their ability to defend themselves? I wouldn't complain if that's how you wanted to put it. But think about it. If folks I was standing behind got an arrow in their neck, who do you think would be next? Me. And whatever you think the way I do things, I'm not stupid. Then I've little choice but to believe your words. So even if you judge them capable enough to handle it, I'd ask that you never hide behind your allies in such a manner. Wouldn't dream of it. But Knight and Jeremy, I would also ask that you not place yourself in harm's way for the sake of those less skilled than you. Yeah, don't worry. Wouldn't dream of it, same as I said before. Like, it's just funny he's saying that. That's so incongruent with the game mechanics, which is characters jumping in front of each other constantly. It's almost strange how well he listens, given everything else. Yeah, okay, he was only one, so is Magellan. Can't even do Magellans. Alright, let's finish off Liza. You're standing right there, too. Liza, you're actually wearing the ribbon I gave you. Oh, sure I am. I had to take my other ones off to clean them, so... Well, I'm glad to see them in your hair, even if it's only a temporary replacement. Though it comes as a surprise after hearing from Magellan you wouldn't be all too interested in them. He said that, huh? In truth, I was pleased you even chose to accept the gift. Though I'm all the more pleased to know how wonderful you look in them. God damn, this one is pushed so hard. Like, this one's pushed more than Scarlet or Melisandre, honestly. Oh, thanks, Elaine. McKellen was right that I don't usually go for this kind of stuff. So you better not go tell him about this, or Alban for that matter. This is from the 13 Sentinels devs, yeah. It's a Vanillaware Fire Emblem. I wouldn't dare. Good. Still, no one's ever complimented me like that before. Feels kinda nice, too. You say something, Liza? Not a damn word. Anyway, what do you want? Anyway, what do you want to hear about? I feel like I'm running out of stories to tell you. I'm coming in search of your story, Liza. Here because of you. Well, now that you mention it. Do you want to see some hot people, Freya? Would you like me to show you hot people? Elaine's pretty alright. He's not the best. Scarlet's pretty damn hot, honestly. Joseph is old man hot, which we appreciate. I haven't actually finished 13 Sentinels yet. I don't know, my friends keep sweating a lot when I say that Ida's kinda hot. Yeah! Oh, that's so on character for you. That's so on brand for you. Oh, yeah. Travis is pretty good. Clive's pretty... well, maybe not in this picture as much. I like Chloe. She's a cutie. I don't know that I call him hot. Pretty lady. Twink. I appreciate twinks. I don't know how you feel about twinks. She has, fucking thighs, and we love to see it. Witch lady. I like Fran. Fran's very pretty. Miriam's pretty good, too. Oakley's, my beloved. God, look at her ass. What is your favorite? Is there marriage? Is there permanent death? Is there trauma? There is marriage. There is not permanent death. There is trauma. My favorite so far is Melisandre, probably. Though I like Monica a lot. I like Virginia a lot. She's your cousin, but that's fine. Berengaria is very attractive and very cool. I have 2 elves that I am looking forward to enjoying. I have a hot guy elf that I just got and haven't used much. Look at him, honestly. We have a man who is basically a corpse. I like Gamel a lot, frankly, honestly. Aramis is pretty cool as a character. He is so far the only one as a guy that I would go for, but I ship him with where is she? I ship him with Prim. Yeah, every character in this game is cool. I like them a lot. The game's very fun, also. Oh, and I haven't even gotten to the furries yet. I also, I have seen so much fan art of this red-headed archer girl that I assume is from the snow area up here that I'm very wanting to get to. Can you have them marry each other? Is it only MC? From what I see, I think it's MC only, but they have conversations with each other. And, it is not even implied. Sharon and Oakley are very gay. Also, where's the unicorn? I need to be able to hide this, but I am literally riding technically a unicorn. The unicorn is more like your sigil. Oh, also, Freya, since you know 13 Sentinels, you can edit your heraldry, and, where's Fluffy? Oh, they've added a lot. There's actually a lot of new ones. I might have to look at some stuff. You get 13 Sentinel stuff. It's Fluffy and BJ, and then, Actually, wait, I can just go to... It's one of the presets. Yeah, there's just a 13 Sentinels themed heraldry. It's really cool. I like it. But yeah, the game is very good. Right now we're just going through supports that I spent a lot of money and delicious food trying to get.
It's good seeing you pick yourself up again. But thinking about the family is lost because of you. Even if it wasn't really you in control, I don't know.
I never once expected your forgiveness, my lady. Yet I wish to apologize all the same. I'm truly sorry for the pain I've caused.
If you really mean that, then leave. And never come back.
Damn. Kicked out. A denizen of the desert, was she? Ah, my king. Apologies you had to witness that. Please, it's quite alright. It's a shameful thing to admit, but today is the first time I've ever set foot in Drakenhold's desert. Suppose I can't blame you for that. As you know, this land is no longer the penal colony it once was. That doesn't change how the rest of our nation views it. Many who seek a new life outside the desert are met with extreme discrimination, often failing to find work because of it. Most resort to banditry as a means to survive, thus perpetuating a cycle of distrust. My family owes this desire and this desert and its people a great debt. It was the kindness of these sands which saw my parents and I, still an infant at the time, survive being stranded in the scorching wilderness. So I'll not stand idly by while the world treats these generous souls as mere criminals and thieves. No, I shall aid them in breaking the chains of hatred and doubt which shackle them. But try as I might, nobles of our nation have turned a deaf ear to my unending pleas. All except my brother, you mean? He never has been one to care for public sentiment. Indeed, and owing to my role in Prince Ludwig's royal guard, I was able to reside in the desert once more. I bear an immense respect for these people, my king, for their tenacity and their unity. Thank you, Gloucester. Allow me to express my own views as well. Once we rid this continent of the scourge of Zenoira, I plan to rebuild our nation from the ground up, to forge the steel of Drakenhold anew, stronger and sharper than ever before. In so doing, I wish to unmake this prejudice which has long plagued this desert. And when such a day comes, I would have you guide its people forth. You mean to make me the region's lord? I would be glad to accept, my king. But after all I've done, I could never deserve to rule even a single town.
Then perhaps I shall entrust the matter to the nobles you mentioned prior. Same men who refuse to answer your pleas. I understand you feel unprepared. Yet I can't claim any different. Even now I struggle to see myself worthy of the crown which rests upon my brow. But fleeing from my duty is not an option, no matter how much I wish to. Same applies to you, Gloucester. Rule this desert with the very ideals you shared with me here, and people will surely accept you once more.
Must admit, King Gilbert is rather different from his brother. Though if any is worthy of governing our nation, it would be him.
I'm gonna have so many promotions available after all these. We've gotten 90 honors from these conversations, and we're not even halfway done, I don't think. Although I guess Elaine is the bulk of them, so maybe we are like halfway done. Oh, also, wait, I need to continue. I don't know that I actually upped that more than just a 2. Or just to the 1. They don't have another conversation. I did get it to max, though. Man, Gilbert talks to very few people. His brother, his retainer, and the Virginia. We can't do Magellan. Finish Liza. Hilda teams. Hilda only has 1. That kind of surprises me, actually. Anyone here with no friends? Everyone can support someone so far, but not everyone has 3 conversations. Some only have 2 with each other, some only have 1. Like, this is the only one Elaine has with Hilda.
not claim to mind, Hilda, but it appears your wyvern has mistaken me for a midday snack. He's been biting at my hair for some time now. Rather forcefully, I might add.
Seems like he likes you, Elaine. Worry not, there's nothing to be afraid of. He simply wishes to hearten you through all the hardships to endure, day after difficult day. It comes an honor, really.
It does most certainly, yet I fear my life is at risk if it continues any longer.
Please, I'll not hear a word of such sulphurous jokes. In truth, he often does this for me as well, whenever I find myself in a fit of melancholy.
Could it be that you're feeling uneasy about something, Elaine? I hadn't thought it would be that obvious. I mean, it's not, but, like, animal. Of course, I know that nothing will come from agonizing over the matter. But losing a soldier under my command never grows any less painful.
I grieve I'm all too familiar with, albeit under different circumstances. It's true that nothing torments the mind more than such sacrifice, but the good of the many will always outweigh the suffering of the few. All we can do now is try to minimize our losses, while ever striving to deliver peace to this world. We should expect no less from the man who seeks to be king.
Right you are, Hilda.
Elaine, is that blood on your forehead?
Remind me never to be consoled by a wyvern again.
What do we got here? Well done, Fran.
How did I think of keeping that wyvern around? You never know when a beast like that might go for your throat. I'm certain they'd chain it outside of the battle. There would be simply no controlling it otherwise.
You're wrong. This beast is akin to my own family, and he would never attack without any good reason. Though I'm not sure how he'll feel about you spreading baseless rumors. Let's test it, shall we?
Oh, apologies, ma'am. Please don't hurt us.
I take it you saw that? I can't believe you stood up to those soldiers, Hilda. I hear them repeating the same cruel things about my griffin sometimes, but never had the courage to say anything. Maybe I'm the cruel one for not defending her. Yeah, it's hardly surprising people fear them, especially after seeing how ferocious enemy mounts can be. But they can never excuse the harmful manner in which the rest of the army treats their own companions. Hey, I've been thinking actually. Maybe there's a way we can help everyone overcome these fears. Oh? Go on then. Well, what if we gave them chances to meet our wyverns and griffins up close, outside of battle, I mean? They go on walks together, feed them treats. It would be fun, at least. At least I think it would be. Yes, that's not a bad idea at all. So plant their dreadful memories as positive ones. Can't wait to see what those three from earlier have to say once we've forced them into it. You mean you're really willing to help? I'll have to start planning right away. And you'll be joining the festivities yourself, right? But of course, Fran. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Do they have another conversation? Let us go find out. They sure don't. Man, she really does. Wow, even actually Virginia she only talks to once. She really does only want to talk to the Knights of the Rose extended Sapphic polycule, though. Sapphic, not Sapphic. And Elaine. But everyone wants to talk to Elaine. Where? Eh? Ah, right. Where in the fuck is he? North? I should read the thing. It does tell me what direction to go for these. That's not who I was here for, but sure.
Where do you think you're going, Lex? It's already past midnight.
Oh, I was just gonna grab a little water. All this water makes a guy thirsty, you know.
I know you're lying.
Alright, fine. I was planning on sneaking myself an early breakfast, too.
With blade in hand? I think not. How long have you been stealing off the train like this?
Ugh, call me red-handed.
I applaud your dedication, I truly do. But wearing yourself too thin now will come at a great cost during an actual battle.
Oh, don't worry about that. I've been doing this for weeks and no problem yet. That's even worse.
Very well, but we shall speak of this again if I ever catch your eyelids growing heavy. I doubt you wish to impede the prince's march due to mere lack of sleep. Figures you're the only one saying this stuff. Figures you're only saying this stuff to the Mullane. You shouldn't malign him so, Lex. He only keeps you at his side because he trusts you. Yeah, only because he trusts you, not because you're good at what you do. I mean, I think the big guy was actually trying to help me. Maybe I should get some sleep after all. You mind if I ask you something, Hodrick? How'd you get that scar? The one across my face, you mean? Years ago, I came upon 2 children lost in the woods, about to be carried off by foul bandits. I rushed to their aid, of course. At the time, I cared not for defense, but agile offense. I'd always seen heavy armor, such as this, to be an impediment to that aim, not a strength. Hence, I preferred fabric and leather over wrought metals. Hard to imagine that. But weary as I was from constant battle, I let my guard slip a mere moment. The bandit landed a glancing slash across my face. In the end, I cut him down, and it was then I realized the risk I'd taken in foregoing defense. And now you and that armor are practically inseparable. Indeed. Come as it may, at the cost of mobility, I rarely suffer even the slightest injuries. And now I stand an impenetrable shield, both for myself and those I care about most. That includes you, Lex. Should danger ever approach you, you need only position yourself behind me. Thanks, Hodrick. It's a real relief knowing I've got you backing me up. Yay! Is there anyone with no friends? Who actually does have the least? I think he has the least right now. But I bet he'll get more as I get more elves and beastmen. Yeah, everybody's got a decent list. There'll be more angels for Oclese. Oh boy. I am enjoying this. I am liking these conversations. It's just a lot. The fuck is this bitch? On the coast? Okay, so it is north. There it is. Tell me, Gilbert, are you satisfied with your decision to join our ranks? I most certainly am, and while I may have vacated the throne for the time being, Herman and my other retainers are more than capable of guiding Drakenhold in my absence. Not to mention that immeasurable debt I owe to you in the liberation. In other words, yes, there's no place I would rather be. Please, you mustn't speak of debt between us. I merely acted in the greatest interest of Fevris as a whole, or so I wish to believe. Yet at times, I wonder if it is merely a lie I tell myself to mask my insatiable thirst for revenge. I understand why you might believe as much, but were that truly the case, you would never have come to Drakenhold at all. Your deeds have saved countless lives, Elaine, granted hope to many who had lost it, including myself. Sorry, needed some sippies. Lot of reading tonight. Even still, I fear there was but one reason for my rushing to your aid. It was not some grand design to see your nation restored, Gilbert, but a selfish desire to add your strengths to my own, and also to probably kiss my cousin or something. Where's the harm in such a thought? What matters most is that you marched to Drakenhold with the intent of freeing it, not why you chose to do so. Were you generally beholden to a lust for blood, you would never hear a word of counsel to the country. Rather than press forth into foreign lands, your sole aim would be striking at Galore as soon as possible. The conclusion of this war, Corne's crown shall rest upon your brow, and a difficult restoration shall await your people. My father's reign saw no end to the strife between our nations, yet I, for one, wish to do just that. Live in peace as neighbors, as we rightly should. Pardon the lecture, Elaine. I know better than to patronize the future king. The scourge of Zenora is at last no more. The future awaits these lands. Hi, Cinda. How are you, do? Yeah, I guess technically the anniversary's today, but it was yesterday. Who gives a shit? It's close enough. How's my chair? Broken. I'm using it as a footrest next to me while I sit on a wooden chair I stole from the kitchen. It can support me feet, but not me body. Chair goal. I mean, like, I guess I could put up, like, a donation goal on Throne, buy me a new chair. But, like, people just spend a ton of money on my subathon, so I'd feel weird about that. Let's begin, Elaine. Indeed. Ha! That is the bite of my royal blade. It's an impressive art, which took all my effort to avoid, even with the knowledge it was coming. Here we go again, then. It'd be my honor. I sure didn't. It's really funny. Like, it was literally less than 5 minutes after hitting stop streaming that, like, it broke. I was like, oh, it's about to, yep, there it goes. Like, I heard the crack towards the first, well, I heard the first crack, like, 2 years ago. But I heard the crack, like, towards the end of Dino Crisis, and I was like, I'm sure it's fine. And then I finished stream, and just crack, kaboosh, and it almost just, like, full collapsed under me. I was able to get up before it, like, became multiple pieces, but the, you know, the, like, big metal plate, basically, that attaches the chair, part to the wheels, that is, like, wholly cracked. Nearly in half. It cannot support, like, any weight at all right now. Because I had one that completely collapsed under me before, I was able to, like, get up soon enough as it was falling that it didn't become 2 pieces again. But actually, you know, I don't know that I've told that story. That was before I started streaming. Yeah, my chair before this one, just completely collapsed underneath me. I probably still have the pictures of it. I might, if I can find them, I'll upload them to the Discord later. Pity thyself, Elaine. Yeah, what is the meaning of this? You're right, Gilbert. Ah, tis but a flame bug. What are you doing to my leg? Merely sucking up the venom, of course. Just guys being dudes. Just bros helping each other out. Do you not have such insects in Drakenhold? If you fail to quickly tend to their bite, it will swell in size and begin to assail you with searing pain. Now, this may hurt, Gilbert, but I ask that you suffer through it. I've been cracking ever since I destroyed the left armrest, so mine will eventually drop me too. This one lasted me like 4 years, honestly, so I can't complain that much. But I mean, I was ranting about this earlier with my family. Like, stuff just is not built to last anymore, and that genuinely sucks. The chair that I'm sitting on right now, the wooden one, was my grandmother's chair, like, you know, decades ago, and we've been using it for decades, and it's great and in perfect shape, and probably will never break. Unless, you know, like, I slam it or something. Like, chairs nowadays, though, good luck having them last multiple years. Now, this may hurt, Gilbert, but I ask that you suffer through it. You needn't do such a thing, I assure you. There, that should be all. Do you encounter these flame bugs of yours often? It appears you have a wealth of experience in the matter. As with any child in Cornea, yes. Though, I suppose I did notice a conspicuous lack of insect life back in Drakenhold. Certainly compared to the massive swarms I would often encounter in Palavia. Do you fear them in much the same way Virginia does? Truly odd, unusual Prince Elaine. Though I understand now why Virginia approves of you. What do you mean? You didn't mention. Had she deemed you unworthy of the throne when you first set foot in Dragonhold, she planned to cut you down where you stood. That seems rather harsh. Yet not altogether unexpected. She'd always hoped she would be the one to rebuild your nation, you know. And you've seen the extent of her skill with the blade. Such expertise can only come from years of dedicated training. It seemed, at least, that she wished to follow directly in Queen Elenia's regal footsteps. But to the pursuit she would surely resume should you ever be unfortunate enough to fall in battle. Yet be warned, Elaine, shall not accept your failure kindly. A chilling notion indeed. Can you walk, Gilbert? We should get you to a healer with all haste. Let us be off. The Pyrex situation never fails to, like, blow my mind. It's the same name and does literally the opposite. Like, come on. The day ever come that Elaine is crowned king, Cornia shall surely be forever changed. As shall the rest of Fevris along with it. I think I should be crowned emperor, ruler of all the lands. And you can be the kings that rule my vassal state. While I extend my noble lineage and have mountains upon mountains of children. That's why most furniture, if I can help it, I get secondhand. If I get lucky with my finds. Yeah. I don't know, it's just... Ugh. I haven't had to do much furniture shopping yet in my life, but eventually I will. And I will hate it. What a splendid valley this is. I see now why Dragonhold is often said to be the birthplace of dragonkind. Indeed, marvels such as these are the grandest treasure that kingdom has to offer, which is nothing at all like the scenery you might see at home in Cornia. Found a cool rocking chair with rocking footrest the other day for $25. Is it nice? Hell yeah. We still have my grandma's rocking chair out in the living room also. Old things were cheaper and better. Life sucks. Have you heard the saying, Elaine? This nation exists in Cornia's shadow. I can't say I have, no. Perhaps Joseph never saw fit to mention it. Centuries past, your kingdom was embroiled in a war of succession between two siblings. Brother against brother, blood against blood. He who lost was banished to the wilderness, left disgraced to start life anew. And so he did. It was then he formed a nation of his own, the nation we know now known as Dragonhold. I never knew of such history, Gilbert. That explains why there's two human nations when every other race seems to have one. Dragonhold is not a wealthy place, nor is its barren soil suitable for crops or cattle. No matter how hard we toil, we shall never prosper as Cornia does. But for all its flaws, the people of Dragonhold still always cling fast to the only home they have ever known, and the fire which burns within their breast, the flame of rebellion against the comfortable lives their neighbors are blessed with. Once, when I was but a child, we welcomed an envoy from Cornia into Soldraga's walls. My father prepared for them the finest feast imaginable, filled with delicacies from every corner of the kingdom. But as they sat themselves at our banquet table, the only look which crossed their face was one of disgust. 'Tis an image sadly burned into my memory. All the while, my father could say nary a word in his defense. Seeing as the meal had scarcely been touched, he later bestowed it upon the castle's many servants. I had never seen them eat quite so merrily before. From that day forth, I struggled to trust anyone who hails from Cornian shores. But Gilbert. Until I met you, that is. Your kingdom is a proud one, blessed by bounties beyond my greatest imagination. Yet such inequity can breed hatred, the truth often unnoticed by those more fortunate. Dragonhold is not the only land which suffers, Elaine. Astorius is covered in heavy snow the entire year round, while the soil of Albion lie infertile with salt. Cornia alone has been endowed with good fortune. Well, and Elheim, but, the elves are different. So I ask that you remember these words. Heavy weigh the burdens of this long-standing imbalance, on no head more so than the King of Cornia himself. Hold true to your ideals, Elaine. Never lose sight of the person you've become. But he's a friend I admire quite dearly. This one doesn't feel romancy to me, but it does feel very good friendshipy. I'll not fail you, Gilbert, nor shall I let the crown change who I am. No, I shall ever strive to be a man you can admire, now and for the rest of my days. One, two... I can't do yours right now. 3, I can't do Rosalinda's at all, actually, yet. Or his. 3... Okay, we are actually almost done with, Elaine.
Are you certain you wish to join me, your ladyship? I think such markets to be rather beneath you.
This was not the conversation I thought I was getting, but I did not pay attention. How many times must I repeat to myself? You're always following my every move. It's not only fair we do what you want every now and then.
I suppose so, yes. As long as you remain where I can see you, I'll not protest any further.
I'm not a child, Leia. Now lead the way.
Very well. Oh, look here. What a cute little sculpture.
I never thought I'd see the day you called something cute. Let me see it. Oh.
It's a wooden carving of the three-headed beast, each face with their own wonderful expression. One gallant, one terrifying, and one filled with joy.
Have you lost your mind, Leia? Where would you even put such a thing?
Well, beside my pillow, of course, though I could see it every morning when I woke up.
You know me, I think the beast would just give me nightmares. But don't let my preferences stop you from buying what you wish. Go on. Beanie, beanie, beanie. Leia is so willing to do anything I ask of her. But I wonder if there's a limit to how far she'll go. Perhaps I'll put that to a little test. Oh, Leia, I had a sudden craving for fish. I was hoping I might catch and cook one for myself. Would you care to join me?
Gladly, your ladyship, as long as you stay within relative proximity to the fort.
Then come, we have a Cornian trout to hook. If you don't mind, Leia, I was thinking we might head into the mountains to ensnare a local boar next. Once we return with our quarry, we can roast it whole for a nice hearty meal.
As you wish. I'll summon one of our hunters at once and prepare packs for the productive journey.
Thank you. I look forward to it. Tell me something, Leia. Why do you not flinch in the face of my exorbitant demands?
I'm not certain what you mean. I've grown quite accustomed to your whims over the years, and today's requests are no different.
Are you saying I'm always this unreasonable?
For me, my princess, serving as your attendant is already far beyond my duty to the Dragonhold throne. In light of that truth, nothing you ask can be too excessive.
Fair point, I suppose.
Yet I admit there have been some occasions where I felt you overstepped your welcome.
Oh, yeah?
All the same, I've witnessed firsthand how truly fearless you can be as well. 'Tis a trait that has granted me more courage than you might think. And moment makes me forever proud to serve at your side, my princess.
That's how you feel, is it? In that case, I've got plenty more requests where that came from. And no one else who I would rather turn to than you, Leia.
Thank you, your ladyship. Though, try to keep them within reason, would you?
No! I will make excessive demands forever! Oh, hey, hell yeah, another Clive and Monica one. Careful, drink, Clive! Lady Monica! Sorry, I didn't see you there. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Oh, not at all.
And for the record, I would be glad to drink with you. But Monica... And so would Clive, it seems. Lead the way, Adele. Once this war's over, you think we're going to start families of our own? Why, so lucky lady you had in mind? What? No, I mean, I do get approached a lot. I've also never been great at talking to women. Ever since I was young, I was damn certain I wanted to be a knight. So I spent most of my time on the training ground with sweaty old men, not out on the town with girls. Same as Clive here. I think you've had enough for the evening, Adele. What do you mean? I'm barely even drunk yet. Besides, I know you agree with me. If only we had brides of our own, maybe things would be different. All the better if it could be someone gorgeous like you, Monica. Looking like a true drunkard, thank you. Speaking of betrothal, though, I believe Clive here was once engaged himself. No, wait just a sec. Is she telling the truth, Clive? Wow, he doesn't know. Adele, please, mind your volume. I was once sworn to be married, yes, but that arrangement has years since been dissolved. You mean all the time we spent in the Ash and Blue? You weren't actually single, but I thought you and me were the same. Lone wolves all our lives. Calm yourself, Adele. And you, Monica. Cease this mockery of our past at once. Wait, our past? Oh yes, I suppose I forgot to mention. Clive's former fiancé is none other than myself. Was that truly necessary, Monica? I think you broke him. Adele? Are you alright, Adele? I think the shock may have broken him. I want them to kiss. Yeah. Hello there, Renal. Regarding our training earlier. Your Highness, please. You ought not make a habit of engaging me in conversation. I fear you may mistakenly be struck by a stone originally intended for me. Someone has been casting rocks at you. Not yet. Many in these lands surely harbor great resentment for the deeds I've committed. Then should a stone come your way, I shall parry it, and advise the culprit never to do such things again. Nobody deserves to live under the constant threat of attack, Renal. That includes you. Forgive me the impudence, Your Highness. But at times that kindness is akin to a thorn in my heart, depriving itself deeper with every word. Save your sympathy for one who's worthy of it, rather than waste its blessing on a man such as I. Ever plagued by guilt, I see. Yet you, Renal, did nothing wrong. Perhaps not consciously, but I can never forgive myself for the sins committed in my name. Then allow me to do so in your stead. When you stand at my side, I want you to think only of what's to come, and forget in full the wrongs of your past. Why are you doing this for me, Your Highness? As I'm certain you're aware, Zenora's magic robs its prey of their very lives. Yet those afflicted are not at fault for what transpires under evil's grasp. They, too, are victims in a sense. And I refuse to abandon them as the rest of the world has. No, I wish to help. I understand, Your Highness. I shall respect those wishes in whatever manner possible. And in your presence, I shall once more serve as the knight of my people, just as I did so many years ago. Is there only one? Can't do that. I must know, Ridiel. I spelled your name wrong. I must know, Ridiel. What were you like as a child? And where's this coming from? I couldn't say, really. I'm just curious, I suppose. Sure, if that's what you want. It's not easy being a half-elf. Nowadays, most everyone tends to keep their distance from me. Although things were different when I was young. Kids are innocent until they learn to hate. So I had plenty of friends I used to play with, none of whom cared who I was or where I was from. But the older we got, the less they treated me like one of their own. Couldn't understand it. At least not at the time. But I do now, and the cold reality of that truth hurts. Almost as much as losing every friend you've ever known. Forgive me, Ridiel. I should not have asked such an insensitive question. In truth, I have no experience with such discrimination myself, and I'll not claim to understand how you feel. But I hope to create a kingdom where none will have to suffer as you have ever again. Knowing you, I have a feeling you might just do it. Let us pray you're right. They had another one, right? That was only 2. Can't do it, though. Can't do it. Can't do it. Probably can't do her either, yeah. Interesting. Her final one is in, Elheim, but you have something in between that. Tatiana Gloucester. If I may, Gloucester, I hear that during your time as Prince Ludwig's retainer, you also saw to the well-being of Drakenhold's desert. Yet the distance between Soldraga and the southern reaches of the nation are great indeed. Why would you agree to such duties? I was still but a child. Too young to even remember, in truth. My parents were rescued while stranded in the desert. As such, I've always felt an indelible? I've never heard that word before. An indelible debt to the kind people of the Sands. A debt which only grew when my sister married a man from the region. He had accompanied Prince Ludwig on a survey of the dunes, assuming the role of his attendant amidst the scorching heat. It was then that she met a handsome young man in one of the desert's many towns. They grew close rather quickly, of course, and were betrothed not long after. But the day of their wedding brought greater sorrow than joy, for the hall was filled with naught but hateful whispers of the man's low-born desert ancestry. Yet rather than worry for themselves, my sister and her fiancé began to fear the world into which they would soon bring children. I knew in that moment that something had to change. That this nation must become a land where all lives are celebrated, not merely those lucky enough to be born to a noble house. Only then will my nieces and nephews know true peace, without the pain of prejudice heavy upon them. 'Tis an admirable dream, Gloucester. Once which I had begun to realize, in fact, till my mind was so cruelly stolen from me. Now all I seek is to bring an end to this war as quickly as possible. And once we have, I can resume my work to remake Drakenhold in earnest. Help me, my prince, and together we shall win a brighter future for this land, and all its people. My blade is ever yours, Gloucester. Actually, let's take a look at the map. Alright. These ones we can't do. These ones we can't. Like, we still have a lot, but we can't do most of them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 15 more, lines to go. Because there's probably multiple in a bunch of these. That's an interesting combination. I can't do that one. I guess Gloucester only had the one? Oh, or maybe I just can't do the next one yet. No, yeah, he did only have the one. Okay. If you need something from me, I suggest you send a messenger instead. You never know, and I might lose my temper and attempt to kill you. When we first met, you said you wished to see what ideals I fight for. Yet if you're going to do so, you'll need to observe firsthand how I choose to conduct myself. I'd also rather prefer you not having... I'd also much prefer not having to avoid you if at all possible. Especially considering my own desire to study your work.
An amusing thought, but without years of dedicated study, you don't even understand what you're looking at.
Indeed. I know how hard you've struggled to reach your current level of expertise. And I wouldn't expect a novice such as I to comprehend your research at first glance. And if I don't at least try, I feel strongly that I'll never comprehend you either. Grant me that opportunity, Tatiana. Please. I swear I'll not get in your way.
What a strange man you are. First you decide not to punish my wrongs, and now you refuse to keep your distance, despite the fact that I clearly despise you. It's more than just plain tolerance, though. You have a strong will, and a dash of ruthlessness, too. I wonder how will Cornia flourish with you at its helm, and more importantly, how will it fall?
I can't say myself. That's precisely why you should be observing my every move. Both now and after Fevris is in its rightful hands once more. Okay, so we're done with Elaine for now. Word, Selvi. Why did you always arrive late to muster? Such tardiness impacts not only yourself, but the lasting morale of our entire army.
Because there's only so much time I have for my work. The don't enjoy being pulled from it.
I'll not fault you your dedication to this research. Yet while you march as a member of the Liberation Army, you've no choice but to follow His Highness's every order.
I suppose so, yes. But I can't deny how much he's done for me. I'll try to improve for his sake.
See that you do more than try. As you well know, there are few among our ranks who can rival your immense ability with curses. In fact, I often hear the other soldiers sing your praises for the contributions you poured in battle.
Do you now? I didn't know they felt that way about me. At times I've even wondered if my lack of offensive magic was a burden to them.
I assure you, you've no need to worry. Each of us have our own strengths and weaknesses, Selvi. I would like you to have offensive magic, but boy, is your curse stuff incredibly strong.
Fetch.
And I, for one, put great stock in your strengths. If only you would do the same.
Thank you for saying so, Joseph.
All I ask in return is that you perform your duties with the utmost care. Speaking of which, I trust you've not forgotten our upcoming battle.
Of course not. I could never.
Somehow I struggle to believe you, but very well, let us depart together. Let's just do it by the map now. I'm not just going through a lane. Sometimes you need the curse of Ra more than damage. No, really though, like, just the ability, the amount of damage she mitigates, especially right now combined with Berengaria, like, it just makes the team genuinely not take damage. And it's great. I see you still wield the same lance you did 10 years past. Indeed I do. It would seem I kept it rather well maintained, even while serving as Honora's puppet. It does not call to mind painful memories every time you gaze upon it. My pain matters not. Something serves as a reminder it's the torturous acts I committed with my own two hands. It is a warning, both for myself and for you. A warning to never forget the horrors we wrought. The innocent lives we stole away from our families and loved ones. We must always remember their suffering, for as long as we draw breath. There is truth in what you say. Dwelling on such matters will one day shatter your very soul. My soul be damned, Patrick. I have no longer the right to seek atonement, not after what I've done. Yet despite my sins, despite the foul torment I brought my own citizens, I live on. So all I can do now is strive to sever the roots of evil at their source. And so I shall, even should it cost me everything. For my people, for my nation, and for my prince. But Renaud, enough. I've chosen the path on which I walk, yet I am ever grateful to walk it beside you. I feel like that could be the last one for them, but there might be another one. There is another one, okay. Oh, Renaud, is it truly you? It is an honor to see you here, my lord. Have you come to brandish your lance in the name of the local garrison? I know not who you are. But you taught me everything I know about the arts of war. Surely you must remember. The Renaud you speak of is no more. Be gone from my sight, or be run through. That sucks, actually, because he did more than just, control and fight. He was training people. there are people on the Zenoran side that see him in the same way that, like, Clive sees him. That sucks. That's gotta hurt, actually. I did not consider that. Is he in trouble or not? Is everything alright? This is merely a man I encountered. A Zenoran soldier who seemed to have served beneath me during my years under their control. Truth, I had thought to inquire upon details of their military. One such as he couldn't possibly know much of value. Yet more than that, your rage took hold of you. I too have been approached by a former soldier of mine, an enemy who spoke to me with the utmost reverence and warmth. I was not feeling to hear such kind words from a man I bore no memory of. But when I first encountered you, Renal, I found myself experiencing the contrary. The voice which met my ears was not that of an old friend, but of me, a stranger who bore no memory of our time together. Such a realization brought me great pain indeed. Not only that, but on your release from their spell, you came to us only under the guise of the Wandering Laurent. Tell me, Hodrick, does it anger you, the way I cast my name aside in favor of simple anonymity? Why do we make words hard to say? Anonymity. There we go. Indeed it does. But more than anything, it angers me to think how close I was to losing you. For had you truly chosen to renounce your past, none could ever bring you back, not even I. Both of us lost years to Zenora's foul sorcery and all. It is precisely why we live on. To reclaim that which was stolen from us, rather than wallow in its absence. As for me, fighting at your side is one way in which I do just that. Thank you, Hodrick. Your words bring to mind the days of our youth, fighting for glory as fledgling knights in Her Majesty's employ. In a sense, I suppose renouncing myself would be no different than renouncing those dear memories. Perhaps the time has come to retire this old lance of mine. But no matter what weapon I yield, I look forward to doing so at your side. Hello, Waddle. Sometimes they remind you how messed up it is that they were controlled for like 10 years. I had really thought they acted like purely, not robotically, but very much not like in a way of being people. I forgot there was a fight up here. You know what I mean? Where it's like the fact that they were training people and like forging some level of relationships with the Zenoiran military was not something that I really thought of. I thought they were just like cruel and mean and like I thought the curse made them like that, but I guess not completely. And that sucks. Because yeah, like they literally lived a whole different life for 10 years that they can't even remember. Oof, to say the least. I pray you might forgive me, Sir Joseph, but my actions in the battle which took place here. It is a blessing indeed that we kept the princess from any serious harm. Yet all matters considered, I should never have let her take flight to begin with. At ease, Miriam. In such a state, none could have possibly hoped to stop her. On the contrary, I owe you a debt of gratitude, for standing as her shield when few others would bear such courage. Even still, I struggle to come to terms with the hardship I caused our army. It must surely have been a difficult decision to make. Duty compelled you to hinder Princess Virginia's march. As you yourself wished for nothing more than to see Geese slain. Geese. It was like teeth. To finally have vengeance for its cruel decimation of your order. You have the right of it, yes. I was but a squire myself when the princess fled our castle 10 years past. Thus I could only watch as my fellow knights rode off in her defense. I can still remember what our captain told me at the time. For as long as our hearts beat in our chests, the Knights of the Rose shall ever bleed for the princess. It was only after she left that I realized the intent behind those words. They were always ready to lay down their lives for the sake of their duty. And so they did. Yet even now I'm certain their spirits journeying on to the princess's side. In sooth, the events of our battle here come as something of a relief. Not only did I fulfill my duty as a Knight of the Rose, but we struck Geese down and avenged my fallen sisters in the process. Such a choice may not have been the wisest decision, yet I'm certain beyond all doubt that it was the best one. For you, for Virginia, and for your captain, Queen surely looks upon you with great pride.
Thank you, Sir Joseph.
You get a little more detail on how it works in the Elfland. Well, so I saw that in Eltalinde, there was literally someone in her, but I don't know if that's true for all of the possessed people. We'll see. I don't know if we're gonna get to more of the elf area tonight, just because of how many of these we've had, and I am kind of tired from the subathon, but we'll see. But I definitely want to. What kind of monster trains in the damn desert? Better to lay low so we can't find me. And I better know no better company than a nice, relaxing oasis. So, Jeremy. Oh, it's good seeing you, Gloucester. You as well. As I'm certain you're aware, we've more training to do, and no better place to do so than an oasis. The desert sun brings heightened perspiration, you see, so it's important we always seek to stay hydrated. Not only that, but few things in life are greater than a cold plunge and a hard day's work. You don't say. Alas, the desert chill sets in swiftly come sundown. We'll take great care to finish our training before then. Yeah, about that. I've been feeling kind of under the weather today, so I was thinking I might sit this one out. But that's all the more reason to partake. After all, they say the quickest way to break a fever is through physical exertion, followed by cold baths. This is definitely not true. You got any proof of that? 'Cause to me, it sounds like a heap of cow dung. What need is there of proof when the light of conviction guides me? Now come, this excursion shall restore you both in body and mind. Ugh, remind me to find a better place to hide next time. What was that? No, nothing. Well, let's get this over with, yeah. Do they have another convo? No. All of his are one except for Aramis. I think I commented on that already. Oh, I can see the ones that I have. Magellan and Rosalinde. Yeah, this was an interesting combo. Rosalinde, you sure you don't want to stay inside?
Of course I'm sure. It's not often I get to bathe in the light of a day like this.
She's been. It's an any old light though. Sunburn's brighter here than anywhere else in all of Everest. You might end up hurting your skin if you're not careful.
Well, isn't someone considerate?
Just keeping an eye out, seems I do for Liza, or anyone for that matter.
And I appreciate that, I truly do. But the blessing of the Fae is more than enough to protect me from mere sunbeams. As for my skin, I'm sure that you've noticed I don't look like most other elves.
You're a dark elf, yeah. The whole damn town keeps going on about how stunning you look. She's very attractive.
And what do you think about my looks?
Let me see here.
A little close, aren't you?
Sorry, just trying to find the right words. When I look at you, it's kind of like I'm staring into the black of night. But instead of scared, I feel almost calm, at peace.
Can you surprise me, Magellan? Seems you're quite the poet. The majority of elves favor the rays of the midday sun. But dark elves like me tend to prefer moonlight instead. Though it does vary from elf to elf, of course.
Huh. Doesn't that mean you should be doing this at night, then?
Well, I do enjoy the moon's gentle glow. But there's nothing quite like standing in the warmth of the sun, either.
Ben. I hear you. Well, it comes down to one, something you can't usually get. That's enough of this damn heat. I'm heading back to town for a nice freezing charbet. Have fun out here with your fairies and all.
That does sound rather refreshing. Let's just hope he has gold enough for both of us.
I too wish to take Rosalinde out on a date. That is their only conversation. A lot of these guys, a lot of the ones left are only like one-offs. Is this one a one-off? Is indeed a one-off. Ah, nothing like a good drink to keep the old spirits high. Pardon me, barkeep. I'd like to sample a flagon of your finest mead, if you would. What's a king doing in a run down the alehouse like this? How shall I experience the life of a commoner in my charge? Not to mention, I've heard the fare here is quite palatable indeed. Hold of you march for the liberation, yes, and why not? Your meals this evening shall come straight from the royal treasury. Now let us drink to a day well won, and greater luck in the battles ahead. How am I supposed to relax now? One word and you'll send, and my head will be decorating the walls of Soldraga. Unless it was just a chance I've been waiting for. Listen, boss, this is your first time here, yeah? How about I show you how it's done? Your name was Jeremy, was it? I'd be much obliged, thank you. Alright, first things first. This guy plays about more than just drinking, you gotta eat too. But now it's knife and fork. What do you think of this, one of your fancy feasts? My apologies, the barkeep was kind enough to provide utensils, so I assumed it was only proper that I make good use of them. Well, that's what we get for assuming. Slice that cheese any thinner, and it might as well not even exist. Ah, our drinks. Most common folk prefer to finish them in a few gulps as possible, yes? In that case, pray for me, friends. I do this in the name of knowledge. Hey, slow down there, boss. You don't gotta... Ah, this tavern is every bit as magnificent as I had heard. Another round, barkeep. Huh. Guess this king can drink more than I thought. But hey, you might want to take it easy, unless you're looking forward to a pounding headache in the morning. A rightful king shall never fear the pains of tomorrow. Now come, join me, Jeremy. Uh-oh, you know we got a long night ahead of us. I really like Gilbert. Gilbert's funny. Ah, 'twas truly a fine evening that I can remember. Ugh, who could have guessed free drinks would be this nerve-wracking. Maybe next time I'll just slip out the back when I see him coming in. No, become friends with the king. You'll get a high position once the war is over. Alright, I know Aramis is more than one with these guys. I must say, I didn't expect to be identified so quickly. I thought myself a more masterful liar than that.
Honestly, I did think myself mistaken at first. Your mannerisms aren't quite what I would call royal. There's no hiding the eyes of our late king.
I'd rather you not make the comparison. I've long since abandoned my noble blood. Still, it's only natural you see him in me. I know you've bore deep love for my father.
Then you also know I have to ask, why did you forsake his throne? As your brother has said, there are many among your people who wish for your return.
And you, Leia? What is it you wish for? What is it that you wish for? What is it that you wish for, man? What is it that you wish for the man who did nothing but watch as his father perished? What is it that you wish for the man who... There's the emphasis. What is it that you wish for the man who did nothing but watch as your father perished?
Well, until his dying breath, my king desired the prosperity of Dragonhold above all else. And yet I'm certain he would be grateful to see his eldest son survive the war, no matter how that came about. And I feel much the same. Now cease a sense of self-loathing, please. To be frank, when I realized it was you who stood before me, there was no anger in my heart, only relief.
Which is why you kept my identity hidden. Instead of using your knowledge of it against me, that is.
What duplicity are you implying?
Forgive me, I didn't mean to discredit your loyalty. In any case, thank you for not doubting my intentions, and for idolizing my father so dearly. I mean, we know he was basically her father, too. Although she probably doesn't think she's allowed to think like that. Really? They only have one? Prim's got 2, okay. Virginia's got 2, okay. And Gilbert has 2, one of which I've already done. Oh, oops, I hit A. I must say, I never had Never have relished the heat here in Dragonhold. I never have relished the heat here in Dragonhold.
And yet you refuse to let a barber's blade anywhere near those flowing locks of yours. It would help, you know.
Perhaps, but long hair is a defining feature of the man I've made of myself. In any case, I've grown used to it by now.
Somehow I doubt I'll ever understand you.
Tell me, though, you ever dream of letting your hair down as Queen Elenium so famously used to do?
I can't say I do. My aunt was an amazing woman, but my respect for her comes from her actions, not appearances.
Not to mention the incessant burden long hair poses in battle. It is a problem, yes, but such hurdles can easily be overcome with enough experience. Hair can even serve as a weapon if used correctly. Have you ever seen Bo?
Yes, say whatever drivel you want.
It's the truth. Imagine dodging an enemy's attack, and at the last possible moment you whip out your nose hairs and give them a wiggle-waggle in the skies. Ah, it's truly a glorious sight. You twist your body just so, wrapping your luxurious mane snag around their weapon, and ensnared in such a manner, there will be nothing they can do to strike against a strike of your own.
You can't be serious.
And indeed, not only that, but you can even use your hair as a whip in close quarter combat. Aim for their eyes, rob them of their sight, and the day will surely be yours.
I admit I've never considered it like that. You really think you can aid me in combat? I might be willing to learn.
Forgive me for getting your hopes up for dinner. It was nothing more than a little joke at your expense.
It was some ingrate. How dare you?
I'm sorry, truly. It was a temptation I simply couldn't shy away from. Now then, I fear I can bear this heat no longer. Farewell.
Prince Ludwig. He was nothing short of stiff and formal when we first met. But seems life the real world has changed him. For the better, I'd say.
What's the next one? This is quite the revelation, Virginia. Never expected you to so earnestly wield the arts I crafted in mere jest. I admit I had heard rumors of your unbridled ways, but I know them to be true myself. Now I know them to be true myself.
Trust me, I'm just as surprised as you are.
But joke or no, this sparring session has more than proven that potential. My only worry is that luscious hair of yours. I trust it's not come to harm. So telling how my brother might react to such news. And what does Gilbert have to do with this exactly? Anyone would lament knowing a precious jewel has suffered damage not long after leaving their care. If he thinks of me a jewel, he's awfully poor at showing it. Ah, of course. This must be another one of your jests. Don't take this the wrong way, Ludwig, but I much prefer you as you are now. You're far easier to get along with. You have unorthodox taste for a noble princess. Not anyone from my home would agree with you on that point. In fact, those who once knew me as prince still strive desperately to see even a shadow of the man I used to be.
Well, not me.
I have no fondness for the stiff formality of a royal court myself, nor for your past self. For once I find myself at a loss for words. And just listen for a second. No matter what the life you choose from here on, you'll always be Aramis to me. That's how I plan to address you, as a simple sellsword, not the heir you once were. I'd like that very much, thank you. Now then, Virginia, you clearly have much to teach me, both in ways of the world and those of combat. I only hope we find the chance to spar again soon.
We surely will. After all, I'd never shy away from an easy victory.
Oh, get bent. Miriam and Selby.
Yes, I see. How truly wonderful. Pardon the question, Miriam, but who exactly are you speaking to? There doesn't seem to be anyone else here except the spirits of the dead. Please, there's nothing as fanciful as that. That's not the voice I was doing for you. I was merely conversing with my loyal steed. You mean to imply you speak the tongues of the beasts? Not directly, no. It's more of a vague understanding I've acquired from her various sounds and behaviors. Yet I'm certain she's pleased to hear my voice. Do you know a similar phenomenon exists with flowers, Sylvie? If you simply extol their beauty every now and again, they shall grow more vibrant than you could ever imagine. Far beyond what's possible with water alone. On the other hand, speaking ill of them shall cause them to wilt and wallow in despair. Fascinating. I thought such effects only applied to human children. I admit I haven't actually attempted it myself, but the same is sure to be true of my faithful steed here. Hence I always address her with all the warmth and kindness I can muster. She does seem to be rather enamored with you, yes. Wonder if flattering a patch of ruins would produce similar results. Perhaps you could slow their deterioration, or even unearth an ancient artifact with relative ease. Yes, I'll have to test this theory at my soonest convenience.
Do they have another? I didn't get a pop-up, I don't think, for them. So no. I won't forget this. Yeah, you just keep walking if you know what's good for you. Bernice, what's going on here? Now that, just a little scuffle is all.
Thank you, ma'am.
I believe I understand now. You stepped in to assist that girl. Yet judging by appearances, I can only assume you did so through force, not words. A noble deed marred by most ignoble methodology. Yeah, it's not the best look. But you and I both know I've never been too big on tact. If it as it may, there are more means to solve an issue than with your fists. Either way, a little chat wouldn't have helped much here. Black eyes and bruises are the only language a guy like that talks. Perhaps so, yes. Still, it's a point well taken. I'll keep it in mind next time, yeah. Can't promise it'll turn out any different, though. Whatever shall I do with you, Bernice? You can kiss him. Although I should be more with Monica. But I suppose if I can have two, well, many more than two, I will permit you to as well. As long as they consent as well. Mutual consent is important. At times I wonder, Bernice, what would matters stand now had you never been cast out from our order? Better question that. If not for that fateful day, the two of us could have raised the banner of the liberation together, not strewn across the nation like so much shattered glass. You think so? Nice work back there, old man. Keep that up and you'll get handpicked for the Royal Guard in no time. I mean, that is what you're after, right? Feels like Queen Elenia is the only thing you talk about sometimes. Quiet, girl! I'm really paying you to call me captain for once. Well, I know they say Elenia's smart, but I still don't know about a woman leading our country. I mean, she's letting Drakenholt practically walk all over us. Well, we'd never be that spineless if I was in charge. Watch what's that about our queen? Say it again, I dare you! You're a fight bastard! Elenia's little lapdog sure has some bark today, but you have to bite gaily. Easy there, old man. Or do you really want to throw away your shot at the Royal Guard or repair nothings? Damn the Royal Guard, I'm not like these knaves speak of a queen however they wish. Guess I've only got one choice then. That's enough, you two. Take back what you said and we can all walk away happy. And why should I? I was only speaking the truth, you know. Now come here, I need you to get some payback for earlier. Wait! Too late. Nah! You're gonna pay for that! Is this the fight that got her thrown out? If you expect me to thank you for that outburst of yours, it won't happen. Didn't think it would. But hey, at least now you still got a chance of making the Royal Guard. Besides, it turns out those two were some nasty stuff behind our backs. I've no sympathy for fools who can't understand the bounty our queen provides. And they certainly have no right to serve her royal name. By the way, you gonna punish me or what? Fighting the ranks probably gets me expelled, huh? Just like them. Such as a sentence, yes. Well, maybe it's for the best then. You go on and enjoy the capital. As for me, I think a mercenary fits me better than a knight. That being the fight that got her kicked out is abysmal. How did he kick how did he kick her out for defending him? Even back then, I knew you would never initiate a fight for that fair reason. I attempted to appeal as such on your behalf. There was only so much I could say, having not been present myself. My words were dismissed as though they were mere air. Not that it would have mattered, of course. You never stopped insisting you had struck first. You were protecting him, weren't you? Only you told the truth, Bernice.
Then what? I have stayed with the Ash and Blue. Some good that would have done. We would have lost the province to Zenora whether I was there or not. So yeah, I might have walked a different road, but all of them lead right to the same spot. And I don't regret it if that's what you're wondering. The old man would have done anything for Elenia, and so would I.
Can't do that one. Hot half-elf and Travis. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you either.
Mind doing me a little favor, Travis? I need to know the kind of stuff Chloe likes.
Oh boy, okay.
But I don't want to catch it on no matter what.
What do you need me for? Can't you just ask her yourself?
Well, I want to be a surprise. I've heard unexpected shows of appreciation are actually pretty common where she's from.
Doesn't change the fact that you can... doesn't change the fact that you can handle it on your own. I thought you were good at spying on people.
I am, but not when it's someone I know. She's figured out what I was up to before I even got started.
And you don't think it would be... you don't think it'd scare her if you showed up with a perfect gift she never even told you she wanted? Last thing I want is to get in the middle of that.
She'll understand, I'm sure of it. Oh, and I almost forgot, there's a reward in it for you too. Don't ask for an elf's nails, because you won't be getting any.
Don't worry, I wasn't planning on it. Anyway, fine. But I want you to get me a book on elven history. I've been looking for one for ages now.
Is that so? I didn't think you were the reading type.
Well, looks can be deceiving.
I wonder if Chloe's interest will be as surprising as yours. Maybe something like knife throwing, trapping rabbits.
Keep mocking me and I might have to change my mind about this deal of ours.
Sorry, just a harmless joke, that's all.
She wants to kiss Chloe. I'll allow it. That's the only one they get? Or do I just... I mean, maybe I just haven't unlocked for the next one. No, that's the only one. That's all they get. Okay. Hawk and Bernice. I can't imagine they have multiple. Yeah, okay.
Nice hit you got him back there, Hawk.
Sorry, I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, figures you didn't even realize it was happening. An enemy came up behind you in that last battle, but you smacked him away without so much as thinking about it. Didn't even use your staff, just a fist.
Suppose my left hand does ache as such.
Knocked the guy out cold, too. Pretty good work for a fluke, if you ask me. We've got to tap into that skill, Hawk. Train you into a real bruiser.
Please never stand that close to me again. Hawk is so clearly gay.
You saying you don't want to learn how to fight? Shame. I'd be glad to teach you.
I'll not be undergoing any martial instruction, thank you. With enough time to hone my sorcery as it stands.
Now come on, a little muscle will give you that magic of yours all the oomph you could ever need. Now quit your complaining and let's get started.
Please no! Someone help! Mother!
I think I'm gonna enjoy this.
His mommy issues are so funny. It's like, again, the fact that she's dead is really what gets me about it.
Travis? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were reading there. It's one all right. Do you need something? I did, but is that a new book you have? Can't say I recognize the cover. Oh yeah, I finished my last one a few days ago, then bought another over in town. Can't exactly haul a library around though, so I was end up selling my old books to fund the new purchases. But wouldn't you rather at least keep the ones you love? My sister never parts ways with a book herself, even if she doesn't have room for room on the shelf for it. I almost forgot you had a sister.
Two, I think she said.
Glad to hear she's not quite as bloodthirsty as mine. Honestly, I was the same back at the home. Read all my favorites over and over. Now I just write their names down in my notebook, along with anything else I want to remember about them. Once the war's over, maybe I can start actually building a collection again. I didn't realize they were that important to you, Travis. Yeah, well,
I like keeping secrets when I can. Anyway, what's it you wanted to talk about?
Oh, right. Dinner will be ready any minute now.
Perfect, thanks. Let me finish this chapter and I'll be alright then. I'll be right there. Alright, that is all that we have available right now. Oh boy, that's gonna be it for today. I'm pooped. Ugh. We will be more regular, probably, again, just starting tomorrow. I'm just, like, wiped from yesterday. Let's send you guys over to Hard. I don't usually get to raid Hard. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow, starting off Atelier Rise at 2. And then Thursday will be easier times with whatever we decide to do. And Friday we will be doing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That may be the 12-hour stream, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good night, and I'll see you all in the future. Bye-bye now!